Dylan, you'll be proud. I referenced you in an episode a few episodes ago, and I kind of talked briefly about your love of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, okay. And in it, I said timey-wimey. And it was like the whole bit, because we were recording an episode where we hadn't been to Horror Nights yet. It hadn't happened yet. But I was, by the time that episode premiered, we would already have been there probably a handful of times. And when that episode dropped, that was opening night of the event. So it was like kind of playing on that.
Yeah.
But I think what's good now is that, we've been a couple times each. We've been together. We've kind of gone through each of the houses. So like just kind of a general overview, and you and I talked, Derek, about our
rankings, like what we kind of our hype list, I guess.
Yeah.
But now we can now that we've been through all the houses and we can kind of really talk about it. Cause we're like, by the time this releases, we're like halfway through the event, I guess.
Yeah.
So like we could definitely get into the nitty gritty of this.
Yeah.
Well, I have not been yet.
To Horror Nights?
Not this year, no.
God, well, there goes the fucking cult. Hello and welcome to the Third Channel Podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan.
And a newbie to the genre. I'm PJ.
And I'm Derek.
And today the only thing we're here to talk about is horror. You sons of bitches. I've said it too many times.
That was scary.
Well, that's, it's the horror part.
Yeah.
We, little look behind the scenes. We have that intro written out, like a small script. And we typically read it when we do the episodes.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we've done so many to this point that we don't really need to read it. It's nice to have just in case you kind of flub it up. We want we don't want to take it multiple times. But now what I do is I've got it pulled up and I realize, I know this. So I lock my phone and I kind of flip it around in my hand like a tech deck.
Oh.
Did you guys ever play with tech decks, the little mini skateboards?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I did that with some iPhone 6s though, whenever they were bending.
Yeah, so I like no, not really. I didn't play with the $5 toy, but I did play with people's $1,000 phones that were broken as though they were the $5 toy.
Yeah.
Today's horror comes in the variety of Jason X.
We finally made it, guys.
Yeah. If you can't
the mountaintop.
Yeah. We have a guest on this week's episode. This week's guest is Dylan. Dylan's back.
Oh, man.
He's the best.
It's good to be back.
He's the best. We always have him on the meme episodes. Not even the meme ones, but the episodes are the ones that are like, we know people don't like this movie, but we like this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. It just worked out that way, really.
Is this one unpopular?
So it's one that it was not popular when it first came out, but it has now kind of gotten a following over the last, decades. So
it's not popular with me. I don't like this movie.
You're the only one at this table.
Yeah.
I know. And
the only one in the world.
I kind of blame you guys a little bit too.
What?
You can't.
Typically when we start these reviews, and we kind of just start the discussion, Derek will explain your side of how you've seen it first. And then I kind of take it from but we're going to switch it because mine's going to be negative. And so I don't want to end that discussion on a negative note. I first saw this movie at the long end, like how we've spent months talking about these movies, at the long end of both the Nightmare and the Friday series as a whole. We mashed them together and that's how we watched it. And at the end of that, we get to Jason X, and the entire time leading up to Jason X, both of you guys are like, oh, it's the best one. It's so fucking good. You're going to
You know why though, right?
Yeah,
because it's the best one.
Right. And part of you believes that. And I believe that part of you believes that. But I also know that despite your denial, part of you is fucking with me.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
Sucks so fucking bad.
I just love it. man.
Gaslight.
You can't say gaslight. We get to the end of it and we put Jason X on. Pumped. I am so ready.
Mm-hmm.
I am like, I am like a fracked mountain. I am pumped, and I'm sitting there and I'm ready to watch, and it starts. And then the second it gets to space, I was like, because I'm not looking anything up. I don't want to spoil it. I'm like, are you kidding? Are you? And I'm like looking at you guys. I'm like, is this seriously the best one?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, he goes to space. I'm like, okay, fine. And I watch. I'm just my hype is slowly being replaced with fucking rage, not disappointment, not sadness, rage. Because I blame you. I blamed you, and I'm watching it, and so I gave it zero chance. This rewatch, I enjoy it much more because I'm not blistering. You know what I mean? I'm not bristling and like I'm not having to crack my neck every 5 minutes.
Yeah, you didn't swing on me like you did the first time.
Yeah,
Well, not about the movie now,
scary.
but I do swing on you. Get the fuck away from me. Oh, it's happening. I gotta calm down. I'm gonna step out and take a smoke break. But yeah, no, it is a fine movie. It is not my favorite. And I don't like it from a lot of people will go, yeah, it's great. It's Jason in space. It's fucking hilarious. And it's like, I don't like that stuff typically. I think that this movie works surprisingly well. And it kind of crosses the bridge of both of those genres together kind of well. Well enough that I don't dislike it on merit.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched this movie, I was fucking angry.
Yeah. But that's the only time that's ever happened. I've never shown you anything else that you just absolutely despised, right?
Holy shit, there are so many times.
All right. Well,
it's like when you show me your face. Get over here.
No, what I find fascinating about this whole experience is, and we talked about this last time, I think when Dylan was here, is that we would be watching these movies and talking about these franchises, and then Dylan would just randomly have seen one of them. So like, had you saw this, you're younger than I am. So you saw this, I don't know at what age. I was like 12 when I saw it.
Okay.
But like, what other Jason or Friday movies had you seen up until that point?
I know up until that point, I'm pretty sure I'd seen the first one.
Okay.
Before that, I couldn't tell you which other ones. I know I've seen at least one other one. But yeah, no, I knew enough about Jason that like I was interested in when I saw the cover. So I picked it up.
The cover. I love that. The cover with the fucking
yeah, because it was at Blockbuster.
Yeah,
when I was going there, and you see Jason with the metal mask, and I was like, okay, what's this about?
That's metal.
AF.
And then he went to space, and I was like, this is great.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah, because
awesome.
when you're fucking 11 years old and you're like, oh shit, he's in space. They got lasers and shit.
No, that is a very good point. I think this is one of those movies that I saw at like the exact right age, the exact right time to just really dig it. I also think I saw this one probably before I saw several of the other films in this franchise.
Really?
Yeah. I had seen some of them.
Were you then horribly disappointed in the rest of them?
Yeah.
Well, where is he going in this one? How come Jason's not going to the Mediterranean?
Oh man, he's going to Manhattan in this one.
Oh, boy.
Just a boat.
Oh, he's going to the Middle East? It's the late 90s. Jason, no. Space is more dangerous.
But
I think there's it's the 10th movie in a franchise.
yes.
And
Yeah.
They could have done anything. He could have gone back in time or anything.
Talking about timey-wimey.
That's true.
No, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
What's funny is that they waited till the 10th movie to take Jason into space, but Hellraiser and Leprechaun, both of those academic and perfectly, respectful film franchises. They only waited till number 4.
They did it in 4, baby.
They're like, fuck it. Jason takes 10, we go 4.
Yeah. They did it far earlier than Jason made it there. But yeah, no, I saw this and I don't know if I necessarily loved it immediately from the jump. It was probably one of those where like I enjoyed parts of it And then it was like, oh, but then I saw the rest of them and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, well, no, these are the sorts of Jason movies that I actually like and like what he's doing here. And that one's kind of like, I get why people don't like it. And then like the longer I've thought about it and the more I come back to it, I'm just like, no, it's just fun. It is just the most fun movie.
I don't remember if I initially liked it, but it was that thing of like, I remember enough of it that, you know, Jason in space, there's one kill that lives rent free in my head that I'm sure we'll get to. But I do like it on a rewatch because it's silly.
It's like, it's a little jokey, but not in the same way that like 6 was, where it was like kind of meta breaking the fourth wall. This is like meta on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Like just tongue is already in cheek and it's just like, yeah, we know that you, like you said, it's the 10th one, guys. You've seen this thing. What else could we have done?
Right.
This plays less with the audience and more with its history. And I don't mind those. It going like the fucking old gravedigger in 6 turning and being like, some people got a weird form of entertainment. It's like, yeah, we understand that. That's why
talking about you.
Me?
You specifically.
Why me?
Because you're the, I don't know, newbie?
Jason X. In the year 2455, Old Earth is now a contaminated planet abandoned for centuries. A brown world of violent storms, toxic land masses, and poisonous seas. Yet, humans have returned to the deadly place that they once fled, not to live, but to research the ancient, rusting artifacts of the long-gone civilizations. But it's not the harmful environment that could prove fatal to the intrepid young explorers who have just landed on Old Earth. For them, it's Friday the 13th, and Jason lives. That is the best summary of any of these movies I have ever read.
I was about to say, did you write that? Was that on Letterboxd?
No, I improvised that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why were you looking at your phone?
I'm fucking on TikTok, bro. You know me, dude. Fucking recipes and shit. Fuck movies. Today we're going to talk about a rigatoni bolognese.
Oh, nice.
Saucy.
No, that was incredibly in-depth for some reason, just to give the backstory of, like, more of a backstory in that summary than they give in the movie.
Well, yeah, but it's also like they don't touch on the cryogenic freezing. They don't touch on any of that. They're like, Earth is bad, but we're really going to explain why that is.
Yeah.
And they do. And I liked it.
They could have just waited until 2025, then they would understand why the world is bad.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Look outside.
Buddy.
Oh my God, the storm's coming. We're all gonna die.
It's already here. Jason X was released. Well, this is a weird one because it was released in November of 2001 in Spain, and then in April of 2002 in the United States.
Was it Carnival?
Yeah, it was released for Carnival.
Does it give a reason? Was it originally
It was like shot in 2000, and I'll go into some of this in a bit.
Okay.
It sat on a shelf for like 2 years because they didn't know what to do with it.
Huh.
But I have
release it.
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's what Spain said.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "We are España. We released the Jason," and they did, and it was amazing. And it was an X.
Yeah,
and we have to thank him for that.
Thank you, Spain, from the Third Channel podcast.
and Dylan.
And Dylan.
It was directed by James Isaac, written by Todd Farmer, produced by Noel J. Cunningham.
Wife? Child?
Child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean Cunningham, the producer of all of these films.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family affair now. That's sweet.
Yeah. The cinematography was done by Derek Underschultz.
Is that you?
No, it's not spelled the same.
Oh, okay.
It couldn't be me.
It's also not pronounced the same.
Yeah.
Underschultz, Rosenberg. They're similar.
But he was the second unit director of photography on Bless the Child, which was a 2000 supernatural horror film directed by Chuck Russell. He was also the DP on a lot of TV shows and movies, including a 99 sci-fi thriller called Thrill Seekers. He was the cinematographer for The Cheetah Girls in 2003.
Whoa, that's Raven Simone.
Uh-huh. And then I found this interesting that he also was then the DP on movies called Santa Who, The Sons of Mistletoe, Finding John Christmas, The 12 Days of Christmas, Santa Baby, A Christmas Wedding, The Note, Holiday in Handcuffs, Snow Globe, 12 Dates of Christmas, A Royal Queen's Christmas, and A Holiday Spectacular.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, that sounds totally made up.
No, he shot a lot of Christmas movies.
Yeah, that guy is the reason for the season, apparently. Holy shit.
God damn, all feature length?
Which is why this movie... I think that's why this movie, you know, it fills me with the holiday spirit. Jason X is edited by David Handman.
Handman.
Yep. Who also was the editor for Deep Star 6, which was directed by Sean S. Cunningham. A 1990 thriller called Disturbed, which starred Malcolm McDowell. Wishmaster, which was directed by Robert Kurtzman. And then he was also the editor on Jason Goes to Hell and Amusement, which was a 2008 horror film with a spooky clown in it.
Oh, I can't watch that.
I know.
Everybody on this show knows that I have a terrible, terrible fear of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Clowns are pretty much the same thing if you think about it.
What?
John Wayne Gacy, end of argument. John Wayne Gacy, he killed people.
Not a zombie,
he's,
though.
he's not undead.
No, but he killed people remorselessly. And maybe, did he eat them? Was he one of those people eaters?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know enough about history to commentate, but I do anyway, because that's my right as an American.
Goddamn right.
The budget for this film was $11 to $14 million. And the box office brought in $17.1 million. So our director.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not good, but still it was over what Jason Goes to Hell made.
Oh, great. Great. Man, this burnt toast tastes better than the dirt outside. Is not, it doesn't mean the toast is good.
It also cost like 4 times as much to make.
No.
The director, James Isaac, also directed House 3, which was a slasher film. The House movies are the ones that Sean Cunningham has produced. He did the 2006 action horror film Skinwalkers, a sci-fi action film called Pig Hunt from 2008. And then before that, he did special effects on Return of the Jedi, Gremlins, House 2, Deep Star 6, Arachnophobia, and Existenz, which is a 1990 sci-fi horror film directed by David Cronenberg.
Okay.
The writer, Todd Farmer, also wrote The Messengers, which was a 2007 horror film produced by Sam Raimi. He wrote My Bloody Valentine 3D, which I believe we all watched together.
I remember, yeah.
That's Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, and Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
He also wrote Messengers 2 and Drive Angry, which was a 2011 action horror film starring Nick Cage, and the 2019 slasher called Trick, also starring Tom Atkins.
So that guy got to bask in his he basked in the glow of Atkins twice in one lifetime?
At least twice.
Man.
Like we said, the producer is Noel L. Cunningham.
Fuck that.
Difficult to say.
Well, don't have another middle initial. You have 2 at least. Change it up.
Yeah. This is his sole producing credit. But he did work in the editing department on Deep Star 6, House 4, My Boyfriend's Back, and Jason Goes to Hell.
What I'm discovering in this moment is that Noel L. Cunningham is a fucking Nepo baby. Get him out. Get him out of Hollywood. Jack Quaid, gone,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the only one that stays.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about Jamie Lee Curtis?
Fuck. All right, that's 2. Don't name a third. I'll get mad.
And for probably the last time we'll talk about him for maybe ever, Harry Manfredini did the music.
Can I just say the score in this movie is incredible. Harry Manfredini was meant to do sci-fi score.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's like whimsical and it's got that there's like a way that you can create music, a certain series of instruments and melodies that sound like a Starfield, that sound, you know what I mean? And he weaves that through. And then even in his horror score, as that kind of takes over the movie, it's all the old hits mixed with kind of darker, more kind of Imperial March sort of alien Star Wars sounds. And it's such a good score compared to the last one. Oh my God. Which is top 3 worst scores I've ever, or I guess bottom 3.
Yeah, probably better.
Harry Manfredini's a bottom 3 kind of guy. I don't know him. I'm just assuming.
During the development process for this film, director James Isaac, producer Noel Cunningham, son of Sean S. Cunningham, and screenwriter Todd Farmer kicked around pretty much any scenario that they could think of, typically having Jason in a different location. So
You kind of have to at this point.
yeah, because I mean they had done, Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell. So they were kicking around things like Jason in the Hood.
Honestly, I was thinking like, thank God they never did a Jason in the Hood.
Well, they thought about it. Jason in the Snow, Jason Goes Back to New York, Jason Underwater, Jason in the Arctic. We talked about this the other day on one of these. Jason in LA fighting gangs.
Yes, which would have been great.
Or Jason on safari.
They just want Jason to fight a lion.
Pretty much.
That's what that is.
That'd be awesome. In early 1999.
See, you're the reason they make these choices.
Uh-huh.
Jason could fight a lion and then like he could decapitate a giraffe and like use its neck to smash people. And you're just like, that'd be fucking sick.
Write that down. That's a good idea.
Dylan, if you could have Jason murder one African endangered animal, what would it be?
Well, I guess a lion.
God damn it. I am going to write this down. I'm going to go to Noel S.L. Cunningham and be like, you want your career back?
Got some big ideas.
Manfredini could make like a Toto's Africa kind of like Peter Gabriel score of very like white people African music. It'd be great.
That's
yeah,
what
man, you sold the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just came up with this on the fly like I did that description from earlier. I tapped my phone when I said that. I'm filled with lies.
In early 1999, David Butchard and Robert Ziegler wrote an early script for director James Isaac titled Jason X Hell Freezes Over, where it was set in a wintry Crystal Lake. And the writers wanted the script to be a love letter to fans and include all sorts of callbacks, references, returning characters. So like Tommy Jarvis and his sister Trish would return, Megan Garris and Deputy Cologne from Jason Lives, Jenny and Paul from Part 2, and Tina from The New Blood. They would all be returning. It would establish that Crystal Lake would also be being turned into like a lakefront housing development. Jenny would have become a child therapist married to Paul. Deputy Cologne would have become the sheriff. Tommy and Megan would have owned Karloff's Market together.
Okay.
And it also would have introduced Elias Voorhees as Jason's father. And Jason would have gotten a new mask, which the script was given to Sean Cunningham, very impressed, but the idea was ultimately scrapped because the returning characters were owned by Paramount Pictures, and New Line Cinema only owned the rights to Jason Voorhees.
Jesus Christ.
It's the problem with selling off your rights, especially the way that they did it. Todd Farmer then suggested Jason in space because they knew that Freddy vs. Jason was already like on the way. But I mean, we talked about that, a couple weeks ago of just how long that,
like development, like the 9th layer of developmental hell. Yeah.
Yes. And so it would be best if like Jason X was then set after that so that it wouldn't interfere with whatever Freddy vs. Jason ended up being.
I don't know. I don't think the events of Freddy vs. Jason would have destroyed the safari. I think you're safe with the safari.
But how do they get him back from hell to go on a safari?
I don't know. There's like all kinds of Lion King crossover. Rafiki brings him back and he draws the little thing with the fruit on his mask. There it is.
You keep throwing away these ideas.
Nobody listening to this, take those ideas. They're gold.
Yeah. These are all of ours.
That's my savings.
So basically they decided to set it in the future. Their original idea was to set it in like a futuristic city, but that was far too expensive. So they cut it down to just a single spaceship. They were a little scared of doing a horror sequel in space, which like PJ referenced, that was kind of the nail in the coffin for things like Hellraiser, Leprechaun, and Critters. But they thought it would be fun to do a mashup of like Ridley Scott's Alien and James Cameron's Aliens, having like multiple strong Ripley type women on the ship and then badass space marines hunted down by Jason instead of like xenomorphs. So
I can see the influence there, but I also got hints of like Starship Trooper a bit. Maybe that was because of the campiness.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also a bit of the costuming, but
yes. The set pieces and things in this are like, they feel recycled from other sci-fi things.
yeah.
Now, whether or not they are, I have no idea.
Oh no, let's be clear. The entire thing is recycled. The whole thing. It is the Windows computer recycling bin of films. Because there's no way they made those sets.
No.
Yeah.
Because also like a lot of the gun props look like they were probably just normal gun props, but they add a little extra stuff, like extra frills and stuff.
Yeah, it's the steampunk idea. It's well, this is a gun, but it's got a gear on it. And it goes when it fires, so it uses steam for some reason. Like a bullet doesn't work just fine.
Dude, you're nailing these ideas.
No, I'm criticizing now. I don't want to do steampunk stuff. I think steampunk is dumb.
That's fine. We'll cut that.
Yeah, we'll just cut all that.
No, I'm keeping it.
We don't want to turn off all of our listeners who love steampunk.
Oh, I thought you meant all of our listeners.
Well, yeah, they all love steampunk.
What the hell? How is that possible? How can 30 people all love steampunk?
The original screenplay by Todd Farmer was allegedly much darker than what we ended up with. It was rewritten by Louis Abernathy, uncredited, but he had also done rewrites on Jason Goes to Hell. He added a lot of the campy comedy and meta humor to capitalize on the success of the Scream films. He had also previously written the first draft of Freddy vs. Jason script. That's the one titled Nightmare 13, Freddy Meets Jason, back in 1993. But then in early 2000, Sean Cunningham was set to begin production on Jason X by April. And because he had pulled out of the long-delayed Freddy vs. Jason by that point, believing that project was dead, New Line CEO Michael DeLuca, who we've spoken about before, had greenlit Jason X in anticipation of Freddy vs. Jason, which was still in production at the time, but without Cunningham's knowledge. But DeLuca also hired Mark Protosevich to write a new Freddy vs. Jason script within 4 weeks, hoping to get that crossover in theaters before Jason X. That went with a more like psychological, intellectual take on the crossover. New Line liked that idea, began pre-production with the aim to start shooting that in Canada in March 2000, while Sean and Noel were still developing Jason X. He honestly, like, Noel wanted to do this whole Jason in Space movie, hoping it could kind of become its own franchise and then carry on. The studio was impressed enough by his efforts, feeling that it only needed a few tweaks to enter production, so they agreed again to move forward on Jason X and put Freddy vs. Jason on the back burner. New Line loved the script so much that they gave the film 3 times the budget of the most expensive previous film in the series, which was Jason Takes Manhattan. But during production, the budget still wasn't enough for creating the sets and effects that they needed, so it meant that a lot of scenes had to be either changed or cut from the script entirely. Filming was done in Toronto. This is the second Friday film that was shot in Canada after Vancouver doubled for New York in Jason Takes Manhattan. But that also means that nearly...
Yeah. They can hear me do the air quotes now. They're so familiar already. It doubled as Manhattan.
Yeah, it was a stunt Manhattan.
Yeah. What they should have just... Oh, Jesus, that is so fucking funny. Anyway.
But of course, what that meant is that nearly every actor in this film is Canadian, with locals hired from Toronto because it was much cheaper to just hire local actors instead of flying American actors to Canada.
You know what I'm realizing right now is that this must be the scariest, spookiest movie we've ever talked about.
Why is that?
We have dozens of episodes, many episodes. Mm-hmm. This is the first time we've ever recorded and it started fucking pouring like it is right now.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is coming the fuck down all over the front and back of our house studio.
Yeah, studio.
Our professional studio that we have. We rent it out to people to use.
Yeah,
but it is raining like fucking crazy.
And I'm with me.
Although the movie was shot on 35mm film, it was then transferred to high definition video to help with the creation of the visual effects shots. But this actually makes it the first feature length film ever to be completed entirely in the digital realm. And although the movie wrapped filming in April of 2000, it was not released until 2001 in Europe and then April 26th of 2002 in the US. The main reason was that New Line's president of production, Michael DeLuca, was asked to resign in January of 2001. This was following a string of like huge box office failures for the studio that included like Little Nicky and 13 Days. And while DeLuca had fought to get Freddy vs. Jason made, he also had greenlit Jason X and was pretty much the only person at that point at the studio who still believed in it. But his replacements didn't know what to do with the film, so they let it sit on a shelf for 2 years. They briefly considered just putting it direct to video, and then because they weren't sure it would make the money back in theaters. But apparently unfortunately, by the time they had released it, the movie had already leaked online, meaning that most of the hardcore fans had already seen it before it ever went to theaters.
Jesus.
And then finally, when this film was released, it actually had a pretty significant plot hole just because of the order in which these things were made and released. Because with the end of Jason Goes to Hell, with Jason being pulled to hell, but here he's alive and back on Earth at the start of this film. But thankfully, the crossover, Freddy vs. Jason, which released 2 years after this, it resolved that issue. Which, like we talked about before, Freddy Krueger releases Jason from hell, and it ends with him alive and well on Earth again, which then, I guess he gets captured at some point and gets put into the Crystal Lake Research Facility.
Well,
Yes.
and unfortunately, that starts the cycle of Jason is alive, and he's doing well, and he is captured by the government, and some sort of experiment has happened to him. So then he escapes through whatever means, something worse happens, and then he gets back to Earth. Because he then gets captured after Jason Goes to Hell. He's alive, but he's captured. Then he gets cryo-frozen in X, goes to space, but then leaves the ship and goes to Earth too. So how long until he's captured on Earth too by scientists?
Anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Open it up.
Which, of course, means that hockey's been illegal for an entire year at the very least.
Starting last year.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it.
What are those guys going to do now?
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean, what else
Humanoid.
can they do?
Organic composition
Yeah.
is unclear.
They can't play
Can
hockey.
someone tell me what's on his face?
They'll play street hockey. Nobody's like street hockey.
Some kind
recently,
of
right?
20th century carbon
Do they
filtration
still
unit.
wear the masks playing that as well?
It's a hockey
I don't know.
mask.
I've never seen street hockey.
Very good, Center on.
I mean, can
What's
those
a hockey
skills
mask?
transfer
Facial
over to
armor.
like lacrosse
Used as sport
or
outlawed
something?
in
I was
2024.
thinking golf. But
Yeah, maybe.
Amazing.
Guys, we talk about movies. We cannot talk
Absolute
about
museum
sports.
quality.
Okay.
If you do one, you simply cannot do. Because
Let's talk about Happy Madison.
what? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opening credits for this, you and I were talking about whether or not it was an answer to the scene that unfolds, like the research scene, or if it is a direct answer to Goes to Hell.
Right.
Because it both looks kind of like an abstract,
Like a
look
hellscape.
into his like organs,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and also hell.
Yeah. It looks like hell as shown in Spawn,
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
live action
Yeah,
Spawn
yeah.
movie.
yeah.
But yeah, I wonder because it's a little of both, because then it does appear that like an autopsy of some kind or a surgery of some kind. Because I guess he's not dead in this one for now. No, he's like dead center in the largest room ever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It looks like whenever I used to play Minecraft a whole lot, and I would mine forever. It's just like nothing for miles.
Did you ever craft?
Every once in a while, but
Oh,
I was
okay.
more into the mining. You see.
You are fascinating because you are interesting to talk to and you're funny and the biggest loser in your childhood that I've ever known. Not even the crafting. You just did the mining.
Well, yeah. First you mine, and then you craft. I just never made it to that second part.
Dylan made an interesting observation here about the general cleanliness of the research facility.
Well, I guess I missed that this was under the lake.
Is my assumption. I don't think it's
I guess-
specified,
no,
but that's
it's
my
not.
assumption.
But yeah, it's just a thin film of water all over the floor.
Yeah.
And it's just this giant empty room, and
It's soaking wet.
Yeah, they
people
gotta-
are walking through, and it's echoey. Just
Every single person down there catches tuberculosis once a year.
or ringworm. Jason definitely has it.
Oh yeah, Jason is essentially a ringworm.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we've discussed in previous films, they've got a Wodge, a wet ass Jason. They need a bucket and a mop.
Well, no, what I meant is that Jason's essentially a worm because that's the thing he vomits into other people's mouths to turn them into Jason in
That's a
the
good
worst
point.
movie ever made by a human.
That's a good point. Star
What's
Wars
that?
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Was
Jason
that Goes to Hell or
goes to hell. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Jason's midichlorian count is massive. Not a whole lot else interesting happens in the very beginnings of this. It's a very stark set. It looks like a concrete parking garage, but there's a guy. We close in on Jason's face and we see he's alive and his eyeball is moving around. Kind of want to touch on his appearance really quick.
Yeah.
Appearance of the slasher is like my favorite part of the growth of these franchises. The mask is great.
Yeah.
It's like kind of almost skeletal. It's the way the bridge of his nose is now kind of formed.
Yeah.
And Kane's head just fits the mask better.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because they've obviously put makeup on him, but then you got like the rest of it, which is like canonically, the last time we see Jason, he is like rotten, leathered, and like blackened from rot. And he's like a purple blue color. And now he's fine. He's grown his hair back. He's okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you spend enough time out of the water, and his regeneration skills.
Skills. He practiced with the monks in Tibet alongside Batman, but they taught Batman karate. They taught Jason machete and regen. But he's got like little wispy hairs. There's a point later on in the film where he is unmasked for a moment, and he looks. I mean, spit an image of final chapter.
Yeah. Honestly,
which is really good. Granted, his head is not split in twain.
right. He got better.
He got better. He did some murders about it. He's upset. He slashed a bunch. And he's doing fine. But he's got like a needle in his neck, and there's it's weird because it's like a permanent syringe.
Yeah, like they're flowing something into him.
I mean, I
like
guess
some-
keeping him sedated.
yeah.
You gotta keep him sedated. Yeah. Anyway, any more and we get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Every time I sing, I make that joke, and I'm not going to stop just because the audience wants me to. I know what they want, and I'm not going to give it to them. They want me to stop talking.
It was good showmanship.
But there's a guard who is having to watch Jason in the middle of this room, who is chained with every chain they could ever find.
Yeah.
And he, at this moment, I guess, decides that he doesn't like to be watched by Jason and his one working eye.
That's so
It's pretty creepy.
and it's creepy, and I understand the impulse of being like, stop looking at me. But at the same time, it's like you're basically in a room with the most prolific serial killer of all time.
Yeah.
What do you expect him to do?
Like, because he then throws a blanket over Jason, which is like,
Like a shitty wool fire blanket.
but it's the thing of like, okay, yeah, sure. Now he's not looking at you, but he's still a fucking killer. Like,
And now he's much angrier than he was a
Yeah,
little bit
like-
earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
him looking at you is the least of your problems.
Yeah, I made the joke when we were watching that he gets covered with the blanket, immediately begins to snore because it's like putting a blanket over a bird cage.
We're introduced to our Dr. Wimmer,
Yeah.
who is played by David Cronenberg
Yes.
in a cameo appearance here. David Cronenberg, we've mentioned several times, and we will eventually go over films of his.
Yeah.
Because he is a director of things like Shivers, Rabid, The Brood, Scanners, Videodrome, The Dead Zone, The Fly, Dead Ringers.
I'd say The Fly is probably his most famous film.
Yes.
Probably.
Especially in like what we'll probably talk about
Yeah.
eventually of his. Because, yeah, he is best known for his body horror, but he has done some kind of like more gangster films or crime thrillers like A History of Violence and Eastern Promises.
And as an actor, he is okay.
Mhm.
We don't see a lot of it. He's there. He looks like David Lynch a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he's in the black and his hair's white. And
His hair, looked a little bit like that.
he has 8 cigarettes in between every finger. A cigarette in between 8, all fingers to a total of 8, by the way.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
8 cigarettes in between each finger.
Yeah,
That would be
that
insane.
would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would.
That'd be too much.
How long would that take him to smoke?
What's 7 by 8?
Well, how many is he smoking at a time?
Or what's 8 by 8 by 7? Let us know in the comments below how long it would take to smoke each total of cigarettes that we've gone over today. And the winner gets a prize. And the prize is nicotine patches.
Yeah, that's good. But we're also introduced to who ends up kind of being our lead, I guess, Rowan LaFontaine, who's played by Lexa Dog.
Yeah.
Doig. I don't know how you pronounce that.
It sounds like the onomatopoeia that would be written in a comic book from like the 40s when someone gets hit in the back of the head with a cast iron pan.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she's done mostly TV work. She did 109 episodes of Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. She was in 11 episodes of Stargate SG-1. She was a regular in V, the 2010 remake of the 1983 miniseries that like Robert Englund was in.
Right.
She is in Arrow as Talia al Ghul.
Weird.
I haven't watched
I
that
haven't
show,
either.
so I don't know. And then she is in season 1 of Chucky.
Okay. Oh, yes, she is. Weird.
Mhm.
Weird. She's like the mom stand-in
Mhm.
for the main character who's a younger kid. That's wild.
Yeah.
Because I knew I recognized her. I just thought I recognized her because she is the spitting fucking image of Olivia Munn. She looks
Yeah.
so much like her that it's like, is that where I know her from? Do I know her from being wrong about this right now? Man, that V show, we're gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
It's got 90 fucking mentions in these last however many episodes
Yeah. I have the original miniseries on DVD.
with Robbie in it. Robbie England.
I believe so. I don't know if he came in the miniseries or the sequel series, but
We'll have to find out.
yeah. But yeah, she shows up to kind of stop Dr. Wimmer.
Well, it's sad because she's not necessarily stopping him. She's just there to be like, okay, we got him all prepped. He's going to get cryo frozen because he's a fucking maniac. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And fucking Cronenberg's like, oh, no, that's not what we're doing. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, yeah, we're going to transfer him. We're going to transfer him. We're going to study him. It's like, well, no, he's killed like 200 people. We have to put him into an ice cube. And Wimmer's like, no, get the fuck out of my way. And she says, I at some point, it's either now or later in the film, she says it always comes down to money.
Yeah.
Because, and you pointed this out, Derek, you said this out loud, and it's true. The theme of this film is that capitalism is evil and communism is the only way we'll move forward. You said that.
I said that
You said that.
out loud.
You did.
I guess I don't remember. I feel like I remember hearing it, but
Well, I certainly didn't say it. Oh,
because you were next to me.
that's what it is. Dylan said it because he heard it echoed off of me into his own ears again. That's what happened.
No.
I certainly didn't say it.
But I mean, I believe it.
It's a good point.
They go and they take the blanket off of Jason. Surprise, not Jason. It's the guy who put the blanket on him. Because again, Jason's not a bird and he got real mad about being treated like a bird. So he made that guy a bird and he murdered him and then he put the blanket on his head.
Which is petty.
Yeah.
I feel like a little more petty than Jason usually is.
Well, he didn't have any doors to smash or any windows to shatter. So he's like, yeah, fuck it. He threw the blanket on him.
But he does plenty of that later.
It is the reveal of that I like in movies like this, where it's like, okay, so Jason's chained. You said, quote, with every chain that you could find on the planet, right? And he's chained down to this thing. And it's like, oh, well, fuck, how do we get Jason out of the chains? He's an idiot. He has no brain. At one point in this film, they go, how does he survive with a brain that small? So there's no way he's lock picking. So it's like, well, shit, how do we get him out of the chains? They don't even bother. It's just, he did. He did, and they all still worked so that he could chain up the blanket kid. That's his name, by the way. He's Linus from whatever it is, the Peanuts. But so he chains the kid up. They pull the blanket. They're like, what the? Let me pose this question to you guys. Jason immediately launches at him. From where? It's a giant empty house or warehouse.
Yeah, like
from where?
From like kind of over there.
See, my thought is that he comes from the lake, and the lake gives him his power. So he was in a puddle, and then he rose like Donnie Most from the haze from the puddle, and he got him. You know,
you're probably right.
I'm probably thinking too much about this.
Yeah, he could have been standing just like behind one of those several pillars that they had in there.
He's crouched down like, oh, I'm gonna get him. The second they find Steve.
But yeah, and then Jason quickly dispatches everyone there.
Yes,
in a scene where, like, I likened it to, and this is a movie we haven't covered yet. Wink.
No shit.
But the opening of Halloween Kills.
Yes,
when Michael kills the fire department.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Michael has killed the police department of Haddonfield 15 times.
Yeah.
This is the first time the firefighters got it. Michael hates first responders. Next scene.
So yeah, the last guard tells Rowan to run.
Good save.
And she picks up a gun.
It doesn't even look like a guard. It looks, oh no, I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. And she like lures Jason downstairs into the cryo freeze room.
Yeah. Gets him like distracted, pushes him in, closes the door and latches it. And she's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And she kind of walks around and she's looking at him through the glass. And then he stabs her through the giant vault door with an old machete. You made a point, by the way, where you were like, where do they keep his machete down here that he was just able to retrieve it? They had it dangling in front of him like a carrot.
Oh, man.
Well, because you've guys seen that like meme from maybe the Wonder Woman movie or Justice League where like she has her sword on her back and someone has like,
oh yeah, it's in the first Wonder Woman. Yes, that it has to be between
her butt cheeks. And so I imagine
because she's in like a skin tight dress,
right?
But it not
And
mattering.
so is Jason.
Well, yeah. Also, it not mattering about Jason's body because it regenerates. He probably had it up his ass. Why not? Yeah, sure, it cuts your butthole, but what does it matter? It's gonna seal right back up. That's why he's so frustrated. He stabs her with this rusty ass old machete through this vault door, and she falls back, and the cryo gas, whatever it is, comes out of the door, seals it shut,
thus freezing both her and Jason, who takes this last moment to raise his machete in a heroic pose.
Is the idea like, I'm gonna cut this door open?
Maybe.
How great would it have been if Jason tried to smash through the door but couldn't? Because he's smashed through every other door he's ever seen. So this is what he's like,
So this is,
and she's like, ha ha, and then he stabs her.
If we haven't said it, this is the fourth and final time that Kane Hodder plays Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, Kane Hodder is in, when you launch the Blu-ray, it has two options.
Yeah, the Shout Factory.
Yeah, either play or play with intro. And if you play with intro, the intro is literally just Kane Hodder sitting in a chair and he goes, hi, I'm Kane Hodder. I played Jason and also Victor Crowley in Hatchet. This is the last time I ever played Jason. So please enjoy it or I'll kill you. It's like, that's the intro. He's a gem.
He really is. Love him. Can't wait to talk about him more with the Hatchet films.
When we talk about the Hatchet films, right after, like once we're done with Victor Crowley, I will decease. I won't have anything left to live for.
Okay, we'll keep putting him off.
No, next, please.
Then a discovery team, basically a professor and his class, discover Jason frozen in this cryo chamber. A not yet revealed length of time later.
Yes.
But our professor, Brandon Lowe, is played by Jonathan Potts. He was in Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. He was also in Devil from 2010, the supernatural horror film that was produced by M. Night Shyamalan. He was in Totally Killer in 2023, which was a slasher movie that's like Back to the Future, kind of like the It's a Wonderful Knife that we watched. It's kind of like that sort of melding of genres.
Okay.
But that stars Kiernan Shipka, who has played the younger version of literally every character in the last 10 years. And then Lachlan Monroe, who was the cop in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, well, which cop? Stubbs.
The best cop. The only good cop.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But yeah. So they basically find, and this is where our clip comes in, because they find him and they explain that
hockey's illegal,
right?
That he's a humanoid,
and that the events of that opening scene where he gets frozen take place in and around 2010.
And then somebody looks down on the ground and they're like, "Oh my god, there's a girl here!" And they move a bunch of like hoses off of her.
Yeah, sci-fi hoses.
Yeah,
Tubes.
yeah.
But this class of students,
Which is a weird little plot point.
Space students.
Going to space college.
yeah, they decide to take both of these frozen bodies back with them, and
They're very excited about being able to bring them back. Is because it's all, and the movie does it just fine. It's all sci-fi jargon. It's, well, statistics, beep boop, and it's all it's written well. It's written as well as any other sci-fi movie that I've seen, where it's all pseudoscience and nonsense, but it's fine. It's believable. But apparently they're so well preserved that even after 400 years, they can be brought back to life.
That's cool. I also love that because of his heroic stance, that even frozen, Jason chops off one of the students' arms.
Yeah.
This bothers me, if I'm being honest. This moment bothers me because he chops the arm off of the kid. His body frozen falls, and the machete falls down first, and it cuts this kid's arm off. Who's like, "Oh fuck!" And then they stick a needle in his arm, and he's like, "Oh, that's really good." And then they put like a bandage on it that vacuum seals to the arm. Now the effect of that is super cool.
Yeah, like that.
They then later take him, and we can kind of transition here because we move here basically immediately. But he gets, and he's stuck into this thing, and a bunch of and these are very important to the plot of this film.
Oh yeah, they are.
But like nano robot ants crawl over his arm because they've put his severed arm next to the stump, and it seals them back together, and his arm is fine. The reason this bothers me is because they could have really played with that in this movie. That Jason continues to hack people apart, and then they gather their body parts and go get fixed and come back. They could have done that. They could have done a smaller cast. You could have had more kills, and it's like, just don't let him get your fucking head, because we can't save you. And
I think that was probably money.
Because that effect is probably expensive. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. And I mean, this basically just serves the purpose of, like, narratively to show, oh, we have this technology, we can rebuild people, we can attach things.
It's the future.
I know. The second you see Jason cut an arm off and it just gets attached back, it's like, well, that would be fun. You could frustrate him, make him even angrier.
Well, and they play with that a little bit in a scene shortly after he reanimates in the simulation chamber, where they also kind of play with, like, he kills people and then has to kill them again.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yes, they take Rowan and they put her in an examination room up on this reanimation table, and they repair her wounds with nanotech as well. And she kind of wakes up. Her thoughts are where she was frozen. Like, she is still afraid of, like, Jason, and I've got to get out of this chamber, and
And the knockoff Dr. Gordon from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors is like, "You're okay. Everything's okay." And then she punches him in the face. I dislike this character with a great, great passion. So seeing him is like, oh, it's a lot of fun for me.
Okay. Do you like him more or less than Doctor from Part 7?
Oh,
Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Cruz, yeah.
Or McCullough from Part 8.
Okay, so the 3 doctor rankings.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tough. Okay. I would say he's at the top. This guy's the best one.
Oh,
from
okay.
this one.
Gotcha.
Dr. Cruz is in the middle because he's so unimportant. Like he's an evil, impeachable dickhead.
Yeah.
So he's in the middle. But then the bottom is McCulloch because he's a creep. You know, he's a sex creep. He's a regular creep. He's all the kinds of, he's Radiohead's creep. He's all of them. That's who they wrote the song about.
Oh.
They watched Takes Manhattan. They're like, what are we going to do with this? Like, write a song, of course.
This is also where they reveal when and where they are.
Yes.
It's the year 2455.
She goes, that's been over 400 years. And he's like, well, yeah.
what
I
I
just fucking said that.
But he also explains that Earth has become so polluted that it no longer supports life, and they have moved to another planet called Earth 2.
Would you like me to reread the
Oh yeah, they do a
description?
whole lot more
A
of
lot of it,
explanation
yeah.
of that.
Because he really is just like, it's like the sea, because he explains this to her later, but basically the explanation is that the land and the sea are both dead and they will no longer support life. And it's like, bitch, I've seen Wall-E. You just got to get people back with a single plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
That'll be the next movie.
No, there's not going to be a next movie, Kramer. It's not happening.
what? Jason X2?
No, definitely not happening.
Jason X squared?
Jason Double X. And the third movie, he hangs dog.
We get a little scene here where Lo contacts his buyer who is on Solaris.
I have been waiting the entire time, by the way, to get to this point so that you could tell me who the fuck this is. Because by all standards of these films, this is when you've got the cameo from somebody. Either an old person reprising a role from an earlier movie, just like, or not reprising a role, but like, oh, remember this guy? Like a good example would be if that guy was played by Crazy Ralph's actor.
Yes.
It's like, oh, remember him? But this, because he's not in the set, and the way he's filmed, you know that he was never on a set. He would probably film wherever. And so you would think this would be a cameo of some kind. That's how it's treated. Is it?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So, just to explain a little bit of the spider web.
Yes.
So the reason that David Cronenberg is in this movie is because the director James Isaac had done special effects works on Cronenberg's Existenz, the 1999 film
Okay.
that Cronenberg did. So this actor who is playing what is his name? Dieter Perez, I believe is the character's name. It's played by Robert A. Silverman, Canadian actor known for his collaborations with David Cronenberg. So he is in Rabid in 77, The Brood in 79, Scanners in 81, Naked Lunch in 91, and Existenz in 99. So he is in a bunch of Cronenberg movies. So that is the connection.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, it's a good performance. He comes off perfectly like a sleazeball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess my only caveat to that would be that he was kind of just sleepy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, that's the character. He was like in a sleeping
he's in a tube.
State, but
That's
yeah,
why I didn't like him. He's in a tube.
My God.
He's also got like makeup to be like mouth crusties, or he's just disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they really woke him up to do this role.
Sound asleep. And they come in and be like, hey, read your lines. He's like, oh, fuck.
I have lines.
already got the cameras set up around him.
What's crazy, he didn't know the script at all. He improvised all that on the day. He knew the character's name and everything. He just made it up.
Talking about character's name. So the whole thing here is that Lo is hard up for money.
Yeah.
And so he takes his students on these trips to Earth to find artifacts and things to bring back to then sell to this guy to make money. And so he has found these two specimens and he's brought one of them back to life. And then he's like, yeah. And then the other one, he's named Voorhees. And
I don't even think he says that. I think the guy is like,
he reads
one of
the
your
file.
One of your specimens is named Voorhees. Is that Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees? And it's like, get the fuck. 'Cause that's
Again, but Rowan said it. It's been over 400 years.
one of the things that I said to you is that in my job, because I work with, I talk to people a lot for my work, and I have met many people over the 10 years I've had my job who have the last name Voorhees. Voorhees is not an exceptionally uncommon last name. I think that's what makes him scarier in the first couple films. Hearing about him is because Jason Voorhees is not like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. They're not crazy, strange, dark names.
Yeah.
They're your neighbors. They're whomever. And they just happen to be psychopaths. So to be like, now is this Jason Voorhees? You wouldn't happen to think that this was Jason Voorhees, would you? It's like, no. Why do you think that? It is. Fuck you, but
You've been asleep in a drawer for it's been 400 years. What do you know? What have you heard?
This is the other thing. Another thing that bothers me is that this conversation kind of is like not a plot hole, but like earlier they're like, oh my God, do you think we can bring this person back? That would be amazing. And then this guy's like, yeah, we bring people back all the fucking time. Do you have any idea how many people that were cryogenically frozen that are walking around the streets right now? And it's like, then why were they surprised? Because at one point he's like, yeah, but this is 400 years. And he's like, yeah, it's not a big fucking deal. It's like, so why did all of these incredibly educated people in the beginning of the movie go, what? It's like, no, they should be like, oh yeah, just put her in the toaster. Get the ants on her. Put the ants in her butt. She'll wake up. She'll punch the doctor. It'll be hilarious.
That all happens.
It does.
It was.
Yeah, it's a bizarre because we never hear from this person again.
Nope.
But we have to assume that he dies because he is on the Solaris space station, which is then destroyed later in the film.
In an event that we pointed out is incredibly similar to a space 9/11.
Right.
And we'll get into that. Don't worry. If you guys didn't forget 9/11 like you're not supposed to, don't worry. We'll give you more information about space 9/11 later.
While they are bringing Rowan back to life in one of the examination rooms, another character is sent to do an autopsy on Jason. That is Adrian Thomas. Adrian named for Adrian King, who is the final girl in Friday the 13th, 1980. She's played by Christy Angus. She was in White Chicks.
Whoa.
In 2004. She was in The Pink Panther, the Steve Martin film from 2006. And she was in a TV monster movie called Kraken, Tentacles of the Deep, which I'm sure is just great.
Oh, no. Are you a
yeah.
tentacle guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know me.
Just saying, I know, you know me is like, that's essential to my character.
But yeah, they take Jason to the morgue on this ship, and she begins doing an autopsy, and she pulls out the tiny little piece of what's left of his left eye.
But Dylan pointed out something that was super strange.
Oh yeah, it was weird because she pulls out the eye with little tweezers and she holds it kind of up to her face, and the angle, I don't know if it's the angle or her, but she's looking kind of just off to the left of it. And it's weird because it's not CGI.
No,
It looks
it's
like
like
a practical.
Yeah, it's a prop. And she's looking past it at a big old ass or something nice.
Like, I don't know if she's supposed to be looking at like a monitor of some kind, but like, what would she be monitoring? She's physically doing an autopsy.
Well, she's staring at. She's got it in forceps. She's looking at it. It's like, well, I gotta make sure. It's like okay, you know what it looks like? It looks like a weather person. How a weather person will look at the monitor off to the side, but they're not looking at what they're talking about. Just off to the left. That's what she's doing. She's making sure she's got it in camera.
Well, she did her job then.
Yeah, because it was technically there.
It was in focus.
Yeah, I like that it's his bad eye that she pulls out, and so it's like a tiny, rotten, shitty little eye that clearly wouldn't work.
Yeah,
I like that. You kind of keep because if it were just a regular eyeball, I don't think that would be faithful to his kind of physiology throughout these movies.
She then moves to cut the hockey mask off of his face, like you said, revealing his face underneath. It does, yeah. It looks a lot like from Part 4.
It's got like the underbite and like the really severe, harsh forehead and stuff. It looks really good. She says, "Poor baby, no wonder why you wore this thing." And every time I hear her say that line, I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna if Jason's gonna be like, "Oh, I like you. You treated me nice." He doesn't like her at all.
Oh no.
And then we're kind of introduced to a bunch of other people doing other things, which we think, PJ especially, believes that all the things that then occur are what caused Jason to come back to life at this moment.
Yeah.
Because
Plays off that way.
Yeah. Very quickly, these two kids come in and they're like her assistants. At one point, she's like, their second years are going to slow me down, which is fair. And they come in because it's fair because they immediately start making out. And then in the most unbelievable part of dialogue in the movie, this woman who's running the autopsy is like a professor of sorts or like a lead scientist.
Yeah.
She's like, why don't you guys get out of here and you come back when you're a little bit more focused? And they're both like, you promise? And she's like, yeah. And they're like, thanks. And they might as well just be like, now we can go fuck each other. And they run off and scamper into the woods, but in the ship.
But yeah, that's happening. There are a couple others.
Yeah.
Too.
Janessa. The names in this movie are ridiculous, but I guess they're future space names.
Janessa's my favorite character.
But they gave up on renaming Earth.
Yeah.
It's just Earth too.
call it Terra or something.
Yeah.
Right. But Janessa goes into Professor Lowe's room.
She's
to
like, I have to
talk about her midterm.
But you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Jason Takes Manhattan. It's the biology project. Do you remember Takes Manhattan where
Vaguely.
the girl on the boat is like, hey, professor, you have to come grade my biology project. And she's kind of like, she's drawn in like makeup, a heart and a stomach. But that's it. And she's just like, do I pass? And he's like, no, there's also no way I can prove that this exists. You're going to shower it off. That's what it reminds me of. Because she's like, time for my biology project. And then it cuts to him laying down. Well, so she's got the eyeball, right? In the forceps or whatever earlier. We cut to another thing of forceps pinching something on a body. Yes. As the camera pans out, the professor is wearing purple lingerie and is having his nipple tweaked by Janessa, who's wearing like a black BDSM outfit and has her hair combed like Hitler. It's like really harsh and off to the side. She's like, you like this? And he's like, yeah, harder. There it is. And then she's like, do I pass? And he's like, you pass math or whatever. And it's like, yay, sex perverts, because, you know, it's a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
That's how
Janessa Zachary is played by Melissa Aid. The only thing I'll mention here is she is in a movie called Interstate 60, which is an O2 dark comedy that stars James Marsden, Gary Oldman, Kurt Russell, Michael J. Fox, and Christopher Lloyd.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a powerful movie.
Yeah.
Next, we are kind of shown there's an android on board.
Yes.
Because this is like an alien movie, remember?
KM.
Yeah, KM-14,
Yeah,
I think.
But what's weird is that the subtitles, and it may just be what the character's name is it's KAY-EM, which is like, that's stupid.
That is weird.
It's if you've ever read like the novelization of Star Wars, C-3PO and R2-D2 are written out like that. They're not just the letters and numbers. They are written out as if they were words.
It's dumb.
Why?
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just the fucking numbers.
Fucking make money. Just type the numbers.
Okay. I mean, I didn't write it. I'm not saying that I
You're telling
chose.
us about it and it's getting me mad.
Move on.
Okay, well, KM-14.
You know what? No, get him.
She is there with Sunaron.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Is how you pronounce his name, I guess.
It's in our clip. Go back to our clip and listen.
Yeah. But she wants to be more human. She wants to
Yeah.
appear more human. And so he is trying to give her some breasts.
But then the nipples are apparently magnetic and they fall off. Which is funny because if it weren't so perverted, I would remark that it's a really good visual effect. Because I think they just literally digitally make them fall off and then paint them out. Is because the whole movie is like mostly digital. Yeah. That's what I would assume they would do. But it's also weird and just another way to get TNA into a movie.
Yeah.
But KM-14 is played by Lisa Ryder. She was also in Andromeda for 110 episodes. She's also in From, which we've mentioned several times because it's one of Belle DeVelle's favorite things. She plays
favorite thing.
Abby Stevens.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I haven't seen the show yet. And then Cimarron Payton, however you pronounce it, is played by Chuck Campbell. And he is apparently in the Mouth of Madness, the Carpenter film, and in 45 episodes of Stargate Atlantis.
Hey-o.
But he is clearly interested in the android.
Yeah.
In a romantic sense.
Yeah. Janessa at one point calls it it's like sex bot or fuck bot or something. Neither of those are creative, by the way.
No. Janessa's not creative.
No, she is my favorite character in this movie.
That's good to know. And then, I suppose. And then the thing that really kicks this whole thing off is that those two students who got all horned up standing next to the dead body of Jason Voorhees.
The smell, you know.
You haven't thought of this. Are Stoney and Kinza. And
Stoney is ridiculous.
Yeah. They go back to one of their rooms to begin having sex. And then we witness Jason thaw out. And
it's like get a little close up on his hand twitching. He's sensing what's happening.
You cut from the sex to Jason awakening and back and forth and back and forth. So like, yeah, we are made to believe that Jason is feeling in the air premarital sex, and he has to do more murder about it. It is what his life's goal is.
He's got to stop him before they make a mistake.
Send him back to God, you know. Maybe it's a religious film. Only then because he gets up and the scientist is like kind of, I don't know if it's supposed to be played that she's sensing something wrong or if she is hearing something.
I feel like she kind of hears maybe the creaking and movement.
Yeah. She turns, sees him lying there, turns back, is doing something with her hands, and then turns, and the camera follows her turn again, and he is gone. And then he just grabs her again, though. It's like, but the camera is only so wide, but it's not like the things beyond the camera don't exist. And he comes around the corner, and it's like, you don't have peripheral vision enough to see that there's somebody next to you. But it does not matter, because as the holiest of holy men, Jason baptizes her, but he doesn't realize that that's not water. That's liquid nitrogen.
Yep. Freezes her head and then pulls it out, has this sort of look of like, oh, and so just smashes her face on the countertop and it shatters. And that is one of the coolest kills, I think, in the franchise, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
It is, and I don't think you've seen Terrifier 3.
No.
But in the third Terrifier, they kind of play around with liquid nitrogen as well.
Yeah.
And this is Terrifier is a much more modern movie with access to much easier and better special effects. And this looks infinitely better. It's incredible because it's practical and digital and kind of woven together. If anybody is familiar with Corridor on YouTube, they do a lot of special effects breakdown.
Corridor digital.
Okay, yeah.
But they talk about this effect specifically. It's incredible. But yeah, it is. It is the look of he pulled, because I think he thinks water. I know what water is.
Yeah,
I drowned in it as a child. And so he takes her head and dunks it in there. And then I think he holds her in there for a minute, and then he holds her up to be like, are you dying? And then she's frozen.
Because like she stops struggling almost immediately.
This usually takes longer.
Man, she literally just went. And he was like, she got all of her air out. This is going to be so easy. And he smashed her face and was like, what the fuck? Why did that happen?
Because he bashes someone else's head against a wall later in the movie, and I like to imagine he's a little upset, like, oh, it doesn't happen to everyone up here.
Well, I think it's either 3D or Final Chapter where there's somebody in the shower and he takes his hand and he puts it on like their nose and forehead and smashes it into the shower tiles, but it doesn't, just crumples like a dirty old bag. And he's like, man, sometimes it's so easy and I don't know, I gotta calibrate the head smash.
Sometimes you're shoving somebody's head into the wall and it's made out of aluminum and it folds out on itself because you're in like an RV. Sometimes you kill somebody and you take their head and you smash it and it like shatters, but they just kind of clonk and they fall down on the ground. I want it to smash though. I'm gonna have to figure out the right pressure and angle to get it to smash. This is also where he picks up I don't know exactly what this thing is supposed to be, a medical machete of some kind.
Right.
It's giant and has like it curves in a weird way.
I can answer this with a quote from Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man film.
Oh.
Bonesaw is ready. That's what it is. It's Bonesaw. It's a space bonesaw, but it's a bonesaw.
Yeah.
It just happens to be sharp as fuck on the other side too.
And he begins, he picks this up because it's the closest thing that he can to his machete for now. And he begins stalking the hallways of this ship.
And this is where it is no longer, it's a really good sci-fi movie and it's set up a lot of cool sci-fi stuff. And then it's like, oh, but also this.
Yeah.
It's here's both.
Yeah, because the environment of Camp Crystal Lake, I feel, adds to Jason. And without that here, it's not as menacing because in a spaceship, there aren't as many shadowy places and like grungy looking areas that could add to the aesthetic. It's
Well, when he transitions towards the end of the film as Uber Jason, they call him, when that happens, I feel it fits the genre better and it is then spookier. It is like, like it makes sense for, because like dirty, rotten, old robe wearing, smashed up forest man Jason on a spaceship feels like how odd it would be for a xenomorph to be stalking around a dirty old cabin. It's like, well, why is that in here?
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is we've kind of come full circle on that of they wanted to make a Jason movie that was like Alien. And so our opening here is a group goes down to a planet, picks up a specimen, brings it back. It wakes up in a way and then begins killing the whole crew.
Yeah.
Just the bare bones there. Rowan explains to Lo that I love this little moment with her because she lists off all these different ways that they had attempted to kill Jason over time, like to execute him, and none of them worked.
Hanging, firing squad, lethal injection, electric chair. Yeah.
And so that's what led them to be like, well, if we can't kill him, we just need to put him on ice and just put him away somewhere.
Yeah.
And she's kind of reintroduced to the rest of the crew. And she realizes because one of them walks by, I think it's Waylander is his name. He walks by holding Jason's machete. And she's like, why do you have that?
Yeah. And he goes, oh, it's your friends. And then she leaps out of the spaceship into the blackness of space to get away from him.
She probably would have been better off.
Honest? Well, no, I mean, she makes it.
She made it, yeah.
Well, spoilers, guys.
We don't do that.
We assume.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who I was yeah-ing.
You know what? I'm gonna spoil Alien Earth too. Why not?
But she's basically like, you need to get him out of here.
Yeah.
And Lo just continues with the like, oh, well, no, he's much like Dr. Wimmer at the beginning. It's like, no, the research that we could get out of him is far more important than any fear that you may have.
He goes,
because capitalism is bad.
and then like an asshole, he's like, and up to this point, I've liked Dr. Lowe plenty. He's been fine. And now I fucking hate him. Like, because he does two things that really fucking annoy me. The first thing is he gets his nips twisted. No. The first thing he does is he is the Wayland Yutani. He is the thing that in Prometheus, the thing that makes the shit happen to characters that you like because of selfishness and greed. Other thing he does is he's like, oh no, everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. As the thing that he's talking about being fine is not fine at all. Like,
yes,
he is like, and I think it's a panic reaction. And I'm sure people go through this where it's like, it's denial, insisting that things are fine when they're not. But seeing it like 5 times in a row with this character just drive me up a wall.
Yeah, it makes him one note and the character doesn't really go anywhere until
he goes, I assure you, our scans show him very much dead. We're safe here. And Rowan's like, okay, well, can you show him to me then? And they go into the next room and they're zipping up a body bag of blonde McScientist whose face got smashed.
I like that transition a lot.
It's really good. Yeah.
Just to like prove the point and show a passage of time.
Yeah.
And that they've all come to the realization of like, oh, somehow evil has survived. Even somehow Palpatine has returned. But they call for basically everyone to gather in one of the lab rooms or whatever, and they're going to then send their like military force that's on board the Space Marines to go take care of him. But we go back to our couple who are the reason that he woke up in the first place as they finish up having sex. And
he goes, he's like, all right, babe, they're calling us all in there. Get ready. And she's like, okay. And the door opens. Jason's just standing in the doorway. And it's the most classic Friday the 13th murder I've ever seen. He stabs him in the stomach, through the back, into the stomach with the space machete, and then turns him around, grabs the machete, and pulls it out, but the wrong way. So the handle gets pulled through his whole body.
Yeah. That's nasty.
And then he just grabs him and drags him.
and his body whole.
I made the joke as he's being dragged away that he shouts, please try to get ready. Hurry up. And what is it? Kinza's like, no. It's a special effect that's old as time. Thing goes through him and gets pulled out.
Yeah. In a way, this little scene here, because she gets splattered with Stoney's blood, and much in the same way that the actress's last name is Cartwright from Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah.
Whenever they spray her with blood when the chest burster comes out, and she was not prepared for it to go as far as it did and squirt on her, and she screams for real. The same thing happened here, but because they shot her with this blood in her face and it was burning her eyes.
Because it's
damn.
xenomorph blood.
Yeah.
Their blood is like acid.
My biggest question here is Jason kills Stoney.
Yeah.
And she's right there, but he does not kill her.
No.
Why?
In Takes Manhattan, Rennie, the main character of Takes Manhattan, at one point by Vancouver, New York street toughs, gets thrown onto a couch, injected with heroin, and is about to be sexually assaulted. And Jason's like, not on my watch. So Jason grabs him and rips him off of her. And in a gallant chivalric heroism act, he murders that man. Well, he now doesn't understand the difference between consensual and non-consensual sex. So he opens the door. He sees that they're both very poorly dressed. And he's like, rapist. And he kills Stoney and drags him away, saving her in his mind. Jason is the hero.
Okay. I like that take.
Uber Jason's a bad guy. But regular Jason, he's the hero.
For more alien references.
Oh, okay.
We have our character of Dallas, who is a name of a character also from Alien.
Yep.
And Azrael
from Batman.
But they are like almost doing like a laser tag.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
But this is the reveal of the simulation chamber.
Oh, Azrael's the kid who gets his arm cut off in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's played by Dov Teffenbach.
Ooh,
He
he's
was in
terrible.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah, that's the
I
kind
can
of
see that.
performance that he delivers here. It's just awful.
Now, more interestingly, Dallas is played by Todd Farmer, who is the writer of this film.
Whoa.
Okay.
Man, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
I'd expect him to do stunt work.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
He's a writer for the most part, and he's done a couple little roles in a couple things.
He takes care of himself. That's for sure.
But this is kind of a neat thing where they're in this simulation room and they have these big guns and these like alien creatures come out and they shoot them a couple times.
It looks so bad. It
Yeah.
looks terrible. Do you know what it looks like? Because I'm sure at the time it looked fine, but it has aged so poorly. It looks like the monster Scrappy Doo from the original Matt Lillard Shaggy Scooby-Doo movie. Oh, it looks so bad. It looks terrible.
It really did.
Yeah, it's an odd design because it almost looks, it's like part alien, but it kind of also looks demonic.
Yeah. It looks better than Watto from Phantom Menace, that's for sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah, a lot better. Better character design, better graphics. It's better.
Better
I can see
pizza or whatever.
Papa Watto. Watto Johns would have been funny. Pretend I said that. I'll cut all this. I'll change it so I sound great.
Cut out any negativity toward Watto.
No, I'm not going to do that.
But this is revealed then to be a simulation as Jason slashes one of the aliens as well and then murders both of them
Yeah.
Like cutting Azrael in half and then chopping Dallas's head off.
Which it's nitpicky, but how did he see the monsters?
Right. How does Jason have any idea what's happening in the simulation? It's later revealed that the simulation is like
They have like Google glasses kind of things on.
Yeah.
And like they take it off when they realize that Jason's actually there, but clearly like that had to have been the thing that lets them see, but Jason just walks in.
because that's the thing is because then later in the simulation room, because they do that again when they kind of simulate Crystal Lake. The problem that I have is that Jason is able to see and physically interact with the things in the simulation. But they are seated on like yoga mats, crisscross applesauce with like VR goggles on. It's like, so do you need the goggles or do you not? And if you don't, then why have that? It is nitpicky, I agree, but it's like, it's a fair hit.
Okay.
This movie's a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Cancel it.
Yeah. Unwatchable.
They were right to put this on the shelf. Noel L. Cunningham was like, the fuck is the situation room shit? You know what? Scrap it. I worked so hard on this, but scrap it.
There is no truth in this art. Wow. I've honestly never thought about that.
Yeah,
It's wild.
It's now broken my brain.
Yeah,
there are some things in this movie that it's like, oh, they had a cool idea and then they justified why it would happen, and it's just little inconsistencies.
You said that one of the big problems with the film was a giant plot hole in it. And you went on to explain that it was, because it goes to hell. And
Well, actually, there's no problems with the movie. The movie's great. It's one of the best movies.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But
I think he buys it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I thought the major inconsistency that you were talking about, the giant plot hole, was the simulation scene. I'm on the forums about it, I'm down on the pavement. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Remember when IMDb had forums?
I do.
And then people were awful to each other, and so they took them away. Anyway,
It's better have nice things.
It's better than bot comments. I would rather hear the most horrible things in a comment than read like Jesus loves you with 1,000 like heart emojis in a video about like a guy cooking ravioli.
Right.
Because the internet's just bots now.
yeah.
We're bots.
You heard it here
Beep, boop.
first, folks. And then Jason, basically after this, he kills them in the simulation, and then he gets to kill them for real. Oh my God, it is a Batman reference because he breaks Azrael's back like Bane.
I mean, that has to be.
Yeah, because Azrael replaces him, and I don't know this. I'm not a nerd, but
We don't play Magic.
Yeah, Azrael replaces Batman after Bane breaks his back.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
I assume.
in all of my reading, I have not stumbled on anyone else making that comparison.
I think that you figured that out. Well, we'll see you guys next week for Freddy's Time in College. A boner road trip comedy. It's going to be great. He kills them, and
I don't know if this was just done so that one, they could have a little bit of fun with the simulation thing, but also like, oh, well, now we got double the amount of kills in the movie
Probably
for these two
both.
characters.
it's probably both.
We're then on the hunt for Jason, so we're introduced kind of majorly to our Sergeant Elijah Brodsky,
Yes.
who's played by Peter Mensa. He was in the Chuck Russell film Bless the Child. He's also in 300.
Oh.
So he is the guy who Leonidas screams, "This is Sparta," and Spartan kicks him into a giant hole in the ground.
Well, in the movie that I saw, that was Borat gets kicked in the hole. And then Paris Hilton's there.
No, that was Meet the Spartans. That's a different thing.
Is that not it?
Or maybe Epic Movie?
It
I don't know
doesn't
which
matter.
one it
I
happens
think it
in.
is Meet the Spartans, but those are all bad.
Yeah.
He was also in The Incredible Hulk as General Joe Greller, and he is in Avatar. In 2009, he plays Aquay, who is the Horse Clan leader.
Okay. I'm assuming that you mean James Cameron's not The Last Airbender.
Correct.
Though now they're the same. Because then there was a water one,
Mhm.
and now there's going to be a fire one.
Looks good.
I can't believe we live in a world where James Cameron is creatively bankrupt.
Well, I mean, like
You
we
can't?
discussed.
famed director of Piranha 2. You can't imagine that. How everything he makes is sequels.
Yeah. He's the best at sequels.
He is.
He makes the best sequels there are, honestly.
Yeah, Titanic is obviously a sequel to Noah and the Ark or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Big boat, a lot of things, water. You know?
I didn't know that.
Well, no, like we talked about the other day, he ripped off so much from Jason Takes Manhattan for Titanic.
That's true.
So
That's true.
if it's a sequel to anything, it's that. They make it to the Big Apple at the end of Jason Takes Manhattan. They start in New York at the beginning of, I don't know where
It's
that
like
movie
poetry.
starts.
It rhymes.
Yeah, but Sergeant Brodsky, he agrees to, well, I mean, he like agrees to bring Jason in alive with Lowe.
For 500,000 of some sort of currency. it's
Space
in-
dollars.
Yeah, units of
Unit of dollars.
wealth.
Yes. Gold doubloons. We went back.
Space doubloons.
They mentioned Dallas, who I already talked about, and BFG, which is a reference to the Doom and Quake video game series for the big fucking gun. But they basically were then shown our engineer Crutch. He's working in a lab, and Jason comes up behind him.
I swear to God, there was a full minute where I thought that was Danny McBride.
It did come. He had that vibe about him.
It's like, well, it's like his face. It's when you first see him, he's like looking down and he's got the mustache. He looks just like he did in Alien.
Right.
And I was like, there's no way that's not Danny McBride. And then he looked up and I was like, oh no, that looks like a really young version of Bob Murray, Bill Murray's brother, who was the mayor in Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I do strangely think he looks that Danny McBride's character in Alien Covenant looks like a mix between Crutch in this film and Lou, who is like the pilot of the ship with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like their two aesthetics together.
Yeah.
Sure.
The pilot is weird. We're probably not going to talk about him.
Not a whole lot. No.
Yeah. He's
he
bad.
wasn't really important.
Nope.
But when Jason approaches Crutch and raises his machete to him, Brodsky's team mow him down.
Yeah.
But Jason, stalks around in the shadows and he just dispatches the entire Space Marine force here.
Yeah, despite the fact that they all had eyes on him to shoot him, he somehow slipped away.
Yeah. He smoke bomb. Like Batman. Again, the whole thing is a conspiracy. But the kills here, the only couple that are remarkable. Because he breaks the first guy's neck and then he slashes the second girl's throat and he just kind of does that. But then there's a Marine named Condor who's like their sniper. And he's up on the rafters and he's looking around. And then he and Jason start to fight. And like the guy from Takes Manhattan who boxes him on a rooftop, this guy's like, man, I'm going to take him with fisticuffs. But then Jason picks him up and bodily throws him off of this rafter that he's on. And he falls and he lands on this drilling screw. Like it's a giant.
It's like an auger
Yeah.
from like our world.
Yeah, it's
Earth One.
It would be a space auger. Everything is the same but space.
Right.
But the space auger is a giant. It looks like a nail with a big spiral blade. And earlier you see someone sharpening it. And no matter how horrible this would be to go through, it looks hysterical.
It looks fun.
A
little bit. Is that what you're gonna say?
He hits it with his back and it stabs through him, and then his body is spun down the blade, and so just like.
But I do think it's like the speed that he spins adds to it. Because had it been kind of like a slow, like kind of like fighting the friction on his way down, that'd be one thing. But it's just like an animatronic kind of thing. He's just spinning.
And had it been really fast,
and it's a top-down view too. So
had it been really fast, it also would have been like, ooh, God, that happened. But it is like this medium fan speed. I'm just like, oh man, there's no way you see that you don't laugh.
Yeah,
the effect is amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they did that because he is like writhing and giving a physical performance while that's happening. So I don't
really know
I
how they
imagine
do
it's
it.
like a table kind of spinning thing.
Yeah.
There's a top part that lays on top of him, and
yeah, I mean that's probably it. But it is, it's great. It is probably my second favorite kill of this movie. The first, everybody's favorite kill of this movie is the ice bath, but I think this is my second favorite.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's the off-screen kill with the blanket guy from the very beginning.
Wow.
Also very good.
Yeah.
Because that one leaves it up to the imagination. You could imagine it happened anyhow.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
Jason kicked him in the balls and he died. That's what I think.
That'd do it.
But this eventually leaves Sergeant Brodsky as the last man standing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this moment. Actually, Brodsky is one of my favorite characters in the whole movie.
He is probably
He
my
is,
favorite
yeah.
character, yeah.
I love his performance. I love his little like character moments because he is like both gruff and, you know, the sergeant, but then he also has his little like almost comedy beats, little one-liner things.
Yeah.
He's well liked by everybody.
Mhm.
He's respected.
He makes reasonable choices.
Yes.
Yeah. But then Jason punches through a wall as he is off to do. But now they're metal walls, but he don't give a shit. Punches through the wall, grabs Brodsky, and then like a big spike, maybe a space fireplace poker.
Probably.
You never know. He comes out and it pierces his like rib cage. And he says, a little poke to the ribs isn't enough to take me down. And then his machete comes through as like, it's like a beat. And then it comes through the other side. And he's like, yep, that'll do it. And it's like really well performed.
That reminds me, because we glossed over it maybe on purpose, because I thought it was a lull. But when someone's like on the radio, where's Condor? Did you find him? And someone just,
Oh, yeah.
again, takes a slight beat. He's screwed.
Hey, man. That's Fast and the Furious one-liner shit right there. I love it. I don't. I hate that
That's
shit
very
so much.
campy.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan.
No.
Of
Nobody.
comedy.
Yeah, no. Nobody on this show is a fan of comedy.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. We're talking about horror here.
Yeah.
And that, they can't exist in the same place.
Yeah,
No.
certainly not.
Mm-mm.
We didn't love any of the Evil Dead or Child's Play or Scream movies or Halloween or any of these movies. We haven't liked any of those.
Did we talk about those?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
We
That one
only
was
talked
good.
about we talked about Cabin in the Woods, but by proxy, that's talking about everything.
Right.
Yeah.
They are trying to make their way to the space station Solaris.
R.I.P.
As they approach, Jason then kills the pilot, Lou.
Like we find his body later. He fucking mutilates him. He's like, it is like this spiral sliced apart and
Yeah.
like spread through the cockpit. It's horrible.
And like everyone else has been like
Stab,
just
poke,
kind of
smash.
a quick thing. Like he fucking took some
Yeah.
trauma out on him.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And I wonder why. What did Lou do to him?
Wore his hat.
That was
He
his
fought.
hat.
He fought Freddy,
Mm-hmm.
and so now he sees that hat. And he's
Yeah.
like, "It's you." You know?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But did they actually show how he
No.
died? It was just a cut.
Yeah,
it's a
I think
splash of blood and
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
the
right,
splash
that's
of
right.
blood, maybe a scream over the radio or something. But because of this, the ship that they're currently in, which is the Grendel, which is of course a character from Beowulf,
correct.
then slams into the Solaris.
Now we immediately have a problem, and again, nitpicky, but we have a problem with set design and scaling because this is supposed to be the Solaris space station is supposed to be a massive civilization with skyscrapers and a giant dome. And the ship is something that they are able to navigate through within about a 5-minute period of time from, and this isn't an assumption. They show the fucking blueprint from one side of the spaceship to the exact opposite side of the spaceship in about a 2-minute window of time. No passage of time. There's nothing hinting that there's anything going on, just them running. But then the spaceship is about the size of the space station. They are about equal size. So like those people on that ship, those college space students are fast as fuck. It's all that space energy drink they had.
Well, it's like have you seen J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek?
Yeah.
The same sort of thing. If you actually paid attention to them moving through that ship whenever Kirk and Scotty, I believe, are running around, it doesn't make any sense how quickly they could get from like the
Lower
bridge
decks, yeah.
to the engine room. If you take into a fact that they would have to take multiple elevators on different floors going different directions.
Because like, okay, let's assume the Solaris, because the Solaris has like big buildings sticking out of the space station. So let's assume it's probably about the size of like half of downtown Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
That feels about accurate, right? The spaceship then being about, 2/3 of that. So 2/3 the size of half of downtown. A lot of fractions here.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems impossible that you would be able to run that entire length in 2 minutes. But hey, again, they're on space crack. So, they got their space crack pipes, they smoke it, then they space run.
And yeah, as you mentioned that, I don't remember seeing landing pads or anything like that. Like,
No, definitely not.
Well, because whenever they went down to Earth 1, they were in a little shuttle.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And the little shuttle was able to carry all of them. It's like 9 or 10 people comfortably. When they're rescued when they're rescued at the end of the movie in the Tiamat, they are all then on the same kind of shuttlecraft. So it's like it's a scaling problem.
Yeah.
It is both too big and too small at any given time. But where that comes into play here is that the Solaris has a giant glass dome that this shatters.
Mm-hmm.
All those people dead immediately.
Yeah.
And then there are these 2 buildings that stick out of the Solaris, and
they look very similar to each other.
Yeah, they look like what is it? Fraternal? It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of like, if they were biological, they'd be like
there was
almost
that,
identical.
That Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Twins.
Yeah, like a twins tower situation. That's good.
Yeah.
It's Space 9/11. The ship smashes into the twin towers on this thing, and then it explodes, which is crazy because I'm not making a leap. That is visually, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And this released that year.
Yeah, but this movie was shot then and made in 2000.
Okay, but Lilo and Stitch suffered the same thing, and there was an airplane. It didn't crash. It had no twin towers, nothing like that. And they still went through all of those reels of animation and changed it to a spaceship instead of an airplane to get around in being insulting to the memory of 9/11.
Well, and like the Spider-Man original trailer, which featured the Twin Towers,
which was already in circulation, and so they
pulled that.
It's just surprising that, because I don't feel like that's me being an asshole. I feel like the similarities of a giant ship smashing into 2 exact looking towers and then it exploding is like, so, but that's an example of where the doctor pisses me off. Cause the doctor's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. We just missed it. We'll turn around and go back. And it's like, it was, you ran the ship through the center of it. What do you mean? And he's like, it's fine. And then it explodes. And he's like, oh, well, we'll figure something out. And it's like, are you high? Are you on space crack?
I think we know that answer.
That's how they run. Yeah.
With the destruction of Solaris, that's roughly 20,000 deaths by the director's estimation.
Oh, wow.
Which means that if you take this to be Jason's doing from killing the pilot,
It is.
this is the Friday the 13th movie with the largest death count.
It's like the universal monster with the largest kill count is the Invisible Man because he derails a train.
Kills like over 300 people.
Right. This is, but Jason up the fucking ante. He was like, a civilization of people.
It's a little bit of a cop out.
You think so?
mean, well, yeah. The director's just gonna say, "Oh yeah, no, it was a bunch of people. This had the most kills." Like,
honestly,
it's
though.
cheap.
Okay, well then you give a number. You high and mighty. How many people live on a space station?
None. How
Shit.
about that?
Shit.
It's all robots.
Lowest kill. Oh, like us.
Hey, poop.
I literally just wanted to do. I wanted him to do that again. I'm happy he did it. Thanks.
It destroys the entire Solaris, but like kind of gives a little damage to the Grendel, I guess.
A little bit.
Eventually, it seems like it's worse.
Yeah, they say it ruptured a cell and now it's going to explode. Is the aftermath of this?
I do remember them saying it like sheared off, like they called it the pontoon, like the whole side.
And so yes, the Lowe is assuring them that like we'll just hang out here. This is like a traffic lane basically for shipping.
We're gonna find somebody else. Meanwhile, their entire security force and several of their numbers are dead now.
But they're locked in Lab 1. They're gonna be safe in there.
Great. Are they?
Jason immediately begins banging on the door.
Yeah.
Which we know he loves to smash through.
A surprise moment of actual performance and actual horror in this is Kinza is like standing up to leave and she's like, I gotta go to my room. Stoney's gonna meet me there. And it's like that denial of like people that are in such severe trauma, their brain just rejects it. And it's like, well, that is very out of place in this movie. Because it's like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
There are a couple like good, because I like Rowan. I like her performance for the most part throughout this movie.
Yeah, she's good.
But yeah, that little moment there is interesting. And it's almost this throwaway thing. Because they don't ever, I mean, she's dealing with a lot and she kind of crumples here and breaks shortly as they go to move for the shuttle.
The plan is they're going to go to the shuttle to get out because it's going to explode.
Yes. Because in this moment, Jason's banging on the door for a second, then he stops. And so they all take a moment to kind of listen at the door. And they're like, maybe he's just gone away. And they wait just long enough to kind of like lull you into this false sense of security. And then in perfect Jason fashion, even in space, Jason has found a window to smash.
Yeah.
Because he makes his triumphant entrance to this room, much like he did jumping through the window of the cabin in part 7.
It is like Spider-Man. He like leaps through the room and like lands. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, how he lands and he's like, ah. That's what it reminds me of. And let me tell you, like Willem Dafoe's performance in that, Kane Hodder's performance in this, when he lands through that window, chubs me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, definitely
That's-
you. It's all
no.
three of us. I'm looking at it.
If I'm being honest, that's weird.
If only Lowe had been like saying the Lord's Prayer at that moment, but he had made it about halfway through, what would Jason then say in that moment?
He'd correct him and be like, now I lay me down to sleep. It's actually, I pray the Dream Master.
See, I was hoping that Dylan.
I know.
Okay.
Go ahead, though. You should do it. Deliver us
Finish it.
from evil. That's amazing. Guys, go watch Spider-Man and then you'll get that bit.
Everyone runs out of the room.
Yep.
Leaving Lowe by himself.
This is the most gratifying death ever because he's like bartering with Jason of like, oh, I can make you famous. Anything that you want, I can get. I'm the guy. I can get it for you. And then Jason lifts his hand and he flinches. And then Jason reaches past him to grab his machete. And Lowe goes, guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete. And then it cuts away and there's a scream. And it's like, okay, I'd like to have seen him murdered. I hate that character.
That's one of the biggest problems I have with like the last like 4 entries in this series is that the like true villain,
Like the annoying,
the
bullshit.
human villain, we don't get good payoffs for their deaths.
See,
most of the time.
You and I still disagree on this, though.
Yeah, you sold me a little bit on McCullough in Takes Manhattan.
He gets dunked in a trash can filled with goo.
He's trash. I get it. There was a dead rat in there.
He's also goo. You know.
But yes, then their plan is we got to leave the ship on the shuttle. We're going to gather some weapons.
Yeah.
That I guess all the Space Marines have left behind. KM-14 and however you pronounce his name, the nerd guy who's in love with her, they make out for a bit.
She says that increases the statistical odds of them surviving, which
just makes her a bad computer,
A bad robot.
the input is actual statistics of survival plus horniness equals output. You know,
I guess what they were trying to do is like she became more hopeful, I guess.
like now we're inspired, because of how much we want to have premarital sex. Does a robot need to be married to have sex? Can a robot be a sinner? That's the question. Would sinners work if it was androids versus robots?
Find out.
That's what Sinner. Guys, watch Sinners. It's crazy. They are running as a unit to try to do this mission, which was long odds. And then they kind of huddle into the area where the shuttle is.
Yeah. The 3 women go off like through the cargo bay to try to get to the shuttle.
Meanwhile,
sending Crutch and Waylander which Waylander is probably kind of
Wayland.
it's Wayland Yutani from Alien.
Crutch is also probably a reference to Crutchy from Newsies.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But as they're they split off to go to the bridge to start the launch sequence for whatever to fuel up the shuttle. Rowan finds Brodsky still alive and then calls for help, sending the other two ahead to the shuttle. And this is where Crutch and Waylander find the remains of Lou, the pilot, like spiraled and littering the controls.
Just strewn across the cockpit.
It's like he can opened him.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
You ever seen somebody peel an orange with a knife, but they do it all in one go?
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he did.
It's disgusting.
Jason,
He's meefy,
He's an artist with a machete.
but there's no truth in his art.
I would say there is.
Okay, great. You win.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
one up me on my own fucking show.
Yeah. Fucking I wrote it.
But yeah, they Rowan calls for help. So Crutch sends Waylander to help her with Brodsky
Yes.
to move him to the shuttle because he's very near death. And then Jason kills Crutch.
Yeah. The movie kind of falls apart a little bit here because there's a lot of moving pieces to a very convoluted plan that
Right.
doesn't need to be this convoluted because you're writing your own story. You can make it whatever it is. So it's a lot of people with weird names moving into a lot of different places that geographically we have zero idea where they are in relationship to each other.
True.
So you lose track of everything happening within about a span of a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, all this is a vehicle for Jason to murder. And Crutch is sitting there. That's how we find out what happened to the doctor. Is Dr. Lowe's head is impaled on the tip of Jason's machete. So we know that that's not all he wanted. He didn't just want his machete back. He also wanted to end Dr. Lowe's life.
Are you,
And
you telling me Dr. Lowe was wrong?
Almost exclusively. And a sex pervert.
That's true.
He was a sinner.
Which is why Jason killed him.
Yeah. Well, no. He killed everyone.
Because they're all sinners.
Yeah.
That's a commentary on the moral code of the
Yeah.
world.
This Friday the 13th is a morality tale.
It's a Christian film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Jason keeps rising.
Wow, that's a good point.
Jason Christ. Get fucking sued.
But in all of the confusion and people getting killed and things like that, Kinza, who is in the shuttle already, she locks the doors, locking everyone out of that, trapping them inside the ship with Jason.
And in an unintentionally hilarious moment, she goes to take off, and they're like, "You're leaving us here. You're killing us." And oh my God, no, wait, the fuel line is still attached. So she goes to take off, and much like Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, she goes to take off with a spacecraft that's still connected, and it snags. But unlike Episode 8, which is filled to the brim with plot armor, where I believe Finn, who's piloting that spacecraft, is able to, it just kind of disconnects itself and then he flies away. It does not disconnect, and is then instead, like a swing set, it is swung upwards into the ship proper and explodes in a fireball. And it's supposed to be sad, so I'm confused why it makes me laugh so hard.
Well, I think it's the thing of like her trying to abandon them. I think it was at least supposed to be a deserved death.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, well, she's an asshole. So
She is an
let's
asshole. And then
kill her off in a very silly way.
in a blaze of glory because she explodes. I assume she's in the ship.
No, we saw it. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
maybe she gets mashed and then the ship explodes
Sure.
because she's in the front of it. And if it hits the bottom of the ship, I doubt there's a lot of like airbags. Spaceships aren't supposed to get smashed.
Find out on our new podcast what happened in that one scene.
These episodes of ours on Third Channel are going to get way shorter. Yeah. Because we're going to spend a lot less time talking about what happened in that one scene.
We're really going to pick it apart, though. We're going to solve some things.
Yeah, by the way, those episodes, because then we won't have any reason to keep those conversations short. Those episodes are going to be like 5 hours long. We're going to have charts and shit.
How how did they get from this side of the ship to that side of the ship in that little
It's
amount of time?
ridiculous.
Like, what's the real world time it would have taken?
Well, so speaking of getting from one side of the ship with zero explanation as to how, after killing Crutch with, I assume, Dr. Lowe's head as a weapon, Jason materializes at the shuttle because he can make it there twice as fast as the other people. So he gets there. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And they're like, you talked? But then, what's his name? Truliev?
Studio.
He shows up with KM.
His last name is Peyton. Just
Okay.
call him Peyton.
He's Peyton. He shows up with KM and then says the stupidest line ever, which is, I gave her an upload.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is that a sex joke? Let's spend some time talking about that one scene. Is that a sex joke?
My view is that the actor misspoke and they just,
They ran
Decided
out
to
of
keep it
of
in.
money. They couldn't take it again.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's a similar thing to like Columbia's nipples being out in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is like they literally didn't have the money to buy
Sure.
the film to retake it, so they had to just get a higher rating.
Yeah, but this line delivery doesn't arouse me.
You don't want to imagine what it would take for him to give that robot an upload. That's the thing, is that they were just making out. So my assumption is he fucked an upgrade into her, and that's why he called it an upload, because it's like wink. She's a karate ninja now with guns, and she reminds me of Blade Trinity. And so she does Blade Trinity stuff because she's wearing like black leather and she's got like Uzis. It's a fucking fight scene in a low budget horror space movie. It's exactly what you think it is. It's mostly guns that don't really react in any way with what I imagine is digital muzzle flash. And she like dances around and uses guns and then kicks him. And she beats the shit out of Jason. And Jason goes, now again, geographical confusion. They left the labs where the ant robots were to go to the shuttle. So they left one to go to the other. And there was a passage of time shown with other characters going to a different place. She then kicks him back into the laboratory where the ants are.
She knocks him through the simulation room. And then on the other side of that simulation room is where the lab is.
So the ship the size of the space station is 4 rooms.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
Yeah.
now I'm imagining her doing that whole scene, just blade kick flipping and shooting for like 5 minutes uninterrupted all the way to the other end of the ship.
It's like what we're not realizing is that all of these scene transitions are meant to be passages of time. So what actually happens is that she kick fights him for an hour and 40 minutes through elevators, all kinds of cargo lifts.
The whole crew's just following them like, wow, look at her go.
She has to get like different access codes and keys and stuff to unlock doors.
I'm glad I gave her that upload.
Thank God she's an android. She would have had to have taken a break, eaten a banana by now, you know, but I uploaded her.
But we eventually, we make it to the lab and she like severs one of his arms and legs with the like
Blast of a shotgun.
automatic pistol thing that she has.
Yeah, because I didn't notice her change guns, but at some point the bullets became much more.
She has one on her.
explosive.
She has one on her back.
Yeah, I think that's what she finally whips out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she like shoots him and he falls back into the regeneration table.
It's like an MRI, but it's for building your body, not finding out why it's broken. And then she also blasts his head apart and it destroys his hockey mask.
Sad.
Pour one out for the mask.
You'll never get another one.
Nope.
It's long gone.
Surprise, surprise. Just as we kind of move to the conclusion of this film, the Swiss fusion twists and conclusions mashed together. It's a Family Guy joke.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that show.
You should check it out. It's pretty good.
I do the voices on it.
Oh, yeah?
Anyway, we surprise, surprise. The nanites rebuild Jason's body, but they don't just stop there. They also rebuild his machete and his mask.
Yeah. So at the same time that because they think that they've defeated him, so they're using Lab 2. There's another table. So they're saving Sergeant Brodsky at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we're cutting back and forth between that and then watching the nanites come in and try to rebuild Jason, but then like on the computer it's like there's not enough genetic material left to do that. So then it has to like search the room for more things, which is why they build him out of mostly metal.
And I mean, that's a cool concept.
Yeah.
It ends with a over-designed weird thing, but I don't like Uber
You mean
Jason.
the coolest thing ever.
Again, though, I didn't see this when I was playing with Power Rangers, so I skipped out on this. I don't think this is interesting. I think it's over-designed.
What I'm saying is then do some more timey-wimey shit and go back in time and see it at the correct age.
What I'm saying is, let me not like things.
You're not allowed to not like this movie.
Too bad. 2B, which we haven't talked about in a long time.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, 2B. Again, we've done zero work. We're not going to. Somebody from 2B listen to this and sponsor us.
We love you.
We expect things just based on our reputation. We don't want to put out the work.
Yeah.
We don't want to work hard for the things. We expect by name recognition alone that we should be given those things. Audience, fame, money, a 2B sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ship is bleeding out.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought would make sense about the ship's like kind of geography is that if all of this was happening in the center mass of the ship, because it's shown like center and then the two giant wings. But then they're like, oh no, the whole ship's going to explode. Let's blow up the bridges from this one side that's not exploding, and then we'll go over there. So it's like, oh no, the whole thing is explorable. The whole thing is accessible.
Yeah.
So they just lightning fast.
But they have made contact with, you mentioned them before, the Tiamat.
Yeah. Named after the 5-headed dragon god from D&D.
So we've heard.
Yeah.
We do not play magic.
Right. No.
Yeah,
None
of any
that.
kind.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I get what you're doing.
I don't. And so that shuttle eventually shows up, and Jason, has revealed himself to be Uber Jason, and they
has backhanded KM's head off of her android body. So
Right.
she is now a head.
In a very like cheap animated cell animation kind of way.
Yeah.
Like
It does not look great.
No.
Anytime you have an object that is not supposed to be fly through the air digitally, it almost always looks bad. Even now, it looks terrible.
there was also a slight timing error, like between the head flying off and the sound.
It's like in Meet Joe Black when Brad Pitt gets hit by the car and then the taxi, and he just kind of bounces around like a pinball. That's what it looks like.
I've never seen that movie. You
What?
just ruined it for me.
You haven't seen that? He does a Jamaican accent. It's crazy.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Mm-mm.
Let's go ahead and pause this. We'll go in there and watch Meet Joe Black.
Oh, let's watch Devil's Advocate instead. That one's better.
We'll watch that
Okay.
as well. Double feature. We'll come back. Dylan, we got all night.
Yeah.
But their plan is to blow the bridges and separate themselves from the damaged portion of the ship or whatever until the shuttle can get there. And
So they give Waylander the charge to blow the bridge.
and they all because Uber Jason shows up, takes out KM like it's nothing, and the rest of them run inside.
Yeah.
And Waylander blows the bridge, and they should be safe.
As a self-sacrifice. But this is kind of along the vein of what I was talking about how the movie is really confusing by this point. Because it's like, our very convoluted plan didn't work. But what if we tried this other convoluted plan that we're going to explain using pseudoscience so you can't ground yourself in it? And we're going to go from one to the other very quickly. But that means that we have to grab other things from other places and bring them back here and then split up and do this. And it's like, guys, this is so fucking confusing. Just make it a time. We have to wait X amount of time before the space shuttle shows up. So we need to barricade ourselves because Jason's trying to kill us. It doesn't need all this confusion. Just adds nothing to the plot except for it makes it a chore to try to piece together.
Yeah.
But oh well, Jason's big and he's got a metal mask.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
AF. And he punches through the wall. And
From outside, from space.
right.
He punches through the hull of the ship from space. So a vacuum happens.
Yeah.
And then I'm sad about this.
Oh yeah, because everybody else is on the far side of the room.
So they're able to grab like the door frame and kind of get themselves out, except Janessa, who is like, she struggles to not get pulled out of this tiny hole on the side of the spaceship. And then at one point, a floor grate gets lifted and thrown against it because of the vacuum of space. And Right before she dies, she goes, "Oh, this sucks on so many levels." It's her whole line of dialogue. And it's like, God, you're terrible. I love it.
Now,
She's so bad that she's good.
Yeah, it
Her
is that.
performance is so terrible that it's like, like you tried. It's I don't know if it's on purpose. Either way, I think it's very funny.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I have to wonder, was she making a commentary on the film?
So is it the film?
Well, no, because the film is great.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying that maybe that was her opinion.
That could be, and that would be a wrong opinion.
Whatever. She's either talking about the film, which I think, because this movie's not great, or she's talking about the suction from the vacuum of space, or the overall quality of the situation, meaning like a colloquial, it sucks.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not a great situation. no
Because of
matter
the
how you-
floor grate.
But it is a great movie.
Because of the
Floor grate.
because of the horrible critics, the critical reviews of this film where professional critics tore it apart.
Yeah, we don't talk about that on this show. We don't care anything about that.
We're critics.
We care about the newbie, the schmoobie, and sometimes one of our friends.
That's right. But the reason I bring up the grate is because we know she's dead because the camera pans over to the hole where the grate is, and there's just a little couple pieces of meat like stuck to it that are flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
But they get out, and they now is just KM's head, Peyton, Brodsky, and Rowan are lead. The four of them have now made it out. Everyone else is dead.
Which is still more than what make it out of most of these movies.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Tiamat shuttle has docked with them, but
except
the doors will not open.
Except for Friday the 13th Part 2, where 90% of the cast is like, hey, we're staying at this bar for the rest of the movie and we never see them again. Those are the smart ones. These guys, they got on the Space Titanic.
Yeah, they didn't have a space bar they could go to.
Yeah, in the Space New Jersey.
Well, if they had gone to that space bar at the end of Spaceballs.
There it is. The Xenomorph.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
No, sorry to interrupt you.
Check, please.
But yes. Oh, John Hurt. But then that's a good impression of him, man. The doors are stuck. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, the doors are stuck. They can't get out. So Brodsky has to do a spacewalk.
Yeah.
Tension through the roof.
I like the spacesuit a lot.
It's pretty cool.
It looks a bit like the ones that they wear in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that. It also kind of looks like he's the red version of some sort of like low budget Voltron knockoff. Like I would expect to see one of every color, and then they come together to make a giant Brodsky.
That's the movie we deserve.
That is giant Brodsky versus regular Jason, but every time he kills Jason, Jason just gets right back up. So he goes in spacewalks to get the power diverted back to the door that is stuck because the Tiamat is now there with a shuttle and like a little thing, like a little
like a walkway.
like a
Docking.
walkway from like an airplane to the airport. And it's there. And they're trying to get the door open so they can go through that tunnel and get onto the spacecraft.
And Jason has punched his way through the outer wall and then many more doors to get to them.
Right, because now that he is Uber Jason, he's back to being able to just, even though these doors are like hermetically sealed and made of like space metal, he doesn't give a shit. He just walks right through them because he's back, baby.
He doesn't believe in boundaries.
No, he does not.
So they have to plan a diversion.
Yes.
Which brings us to the best scene in the whole movie.
It is pretty damn good. It is, they use the simulation bay, which again, you do not need the goggles for, but they simulate Crystal Lake. And then
it feels nice to be home.
Yeah, and then he says, run protocol. It's like run protocol, Camp Crystal Lake circa 1980.
Yeah.
And then two dumb girls show up and they're like, do you want to drink alcohol or smoke weed or have premarital sex? And then they take their shirts off and they're like, we love premarital sex. And they get into sleeping bags.
Now, can you understand why, as a 12-year-old boy, this was a pivotal film for me?
Yeah, probably because I realized that earlier in the film, the only boobies that you see, the nipples come right off. They're like magnets. So yeah, I understand how this part.
Which that caused a whole other thing to my 12-year-old mind that I'm still dealing with. But let's not unpack that now.
It's like
You save that for your therapist.
Yeah.
It's why you won't pat any woman on the back because you're worried that they'll just pop right off. But yeah, so then they all continue to work, and then eventually it cuts back to the simulation where Jason has now, like in part 7, Jason has now picked up one of the sleeping bags with the girl in it and is using it to smash the other sleeping bag with the other girl in it. And because they're simulations, they're both just going like, ow, ooh, ow. And then when one of them stops moving, the one on the floor that he's smashing, when she stops moving, he then takes the other one and smacks her against the tree, circa 7. And then when they're both dead, he immediately whips back around and starts walking towards the place that they're in. And instead of being like, oh shit, that's over, because KM is like, man, he's good. It's like, good at what?
At murder.
But they're unarmed. They're just children. He's what a great kid murderer. Feels weird to say, I guess. So he, why wouldn't they just do it again?
Yeah, just put something else in his way.
Simulate 2 more girls over there.
Yeah.
Simulate a dude who's sitting there like, oh man, I'm totally gonna fuck, whomever by the lake. And then simulate his mom.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. They asked Betsy Palmer if she would come back, reprise her role as his mother.
Can I guess what happened?
Yeah, sure.
They offered her $10,000 for the 2 hours of shooting. And she said, no, that's far too little money. In spite of being best known as Pamela Voorhees from the original Friday the 13th movie, horribly overvaluing her place in Hollywood. Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
She was like, in space, you say? I'll pass.
Honest to God.
How would I get there?
The problem, though,
It might as well be shot in Canada. The other thing I want to point out about this scene is that friend of the show, Colin Cunningham,
not a friend of our show.
not our show, but friend of a show that we watch. Okay, Red Letter Media, is a Canadian special effects artist,
like a graphic effects artist,
and he worked for the company Toy Box, who did some of the visuals for this movie. So he actually worked on this scene here. But yeah, it's just a fascinating little thing of a series that we watch on
like
YouTube.
A small world kind of moment.
Yeah.
Eventually, the plan works. Brodsky's able to reconnect the power. They get across into the shuttle, and the Grendel explodes. The ship has finally said its last goodbye, and it blows up. Once it does, they're like, oh, good, we're safe. And then you see him out of the window. And this is where I really do feel like this movie is meta commentary on the series as a whole, because this is such a fucking eye roll, and that's so funny. It is so funny how stupid this is.
Yes. Do you think when he
Save it for the other show.
when he first wakes up on the ship, he is drawn to immediately. The first person that he goes to is he kills Stoney, who was the in the couple who were having sex. And so in this moment, they've escaped. And so he is immediately drawn to, again, Peyton and the head of KM.
No, we don't see them for a second. Do you think he's doing something to her?
Probably.
Whatever he's doing, it's upset Jason so much.
He's trying to save her. He's such a good guy.
Yes.
But he comes you see him out like the porthole window. He is flying towards the shuttle, and they're like, oh my God, you have to be fucking kidding me. And then Brodsky basically space tackles him, and they go flying. And it cuts to Super Earth. It cuts to, that's from Helldivers. It cuts to Earth 2. And there are these 2 teenagers sitting around in a camp off the lake. And they go, a shooting star. Wow, it landed in the lake. Let's go see what it is. And then it cuts to Jason's new Uber Jason mask sinking to the bottom of the lake. Now, you pointed something out that I find very interesting.
Well, it looks to me like it's floating to the bottom of just a standard aquarium.
Like a fish tank.
Yeah.
So what I would imagine is that it they burn up in the atmosphere and it flies off and it flies into one of the cabins
Where they have a fish tank.
and they have, and it's just, it lands there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And his body lands in a coffin and it smashes out of the bottom of the coffin. But they show that on Corn Cob TV because they can show him because he ain't got no soul. The whole movie from beginning to end is high octane. Oh my fucking God. This is why I hated the movie, by the way. This is the reason. It is high octane, obnoxious, fucking like over the top crap. And if you look at it through the lens of a like kind of a love letter and kind of meta commentary on the series as a whole, all of a sudden I click with it and I love it because it's hilarious. But the reason I didn't like it is because you guys were like, no, this is the best one. Unironically, there's nothing special about the way it's made as it is. It follows the rest of them and it's amazing.
But you already said it. You love it. So
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
you love it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I heard love.
You did also, because in the moment where Jason, propelled by the explosion of the ship, is like flying towards the escape pod. Yeah.
Brodsky.
Brodsky does tackle him mid-space, but like from Brodsky like comes from the escape shuttle side.
So like he was clinging to
I
it.
like to imagine that like he made it at the last second. He's like, oh, thank God. But he sees Jason. He's like, come on.
Yeah. He's like, I don't think it's fair that both people of color on this cast are the ones that have to sacrifice themselves for these ingrates. This young Andrew Garfield lookalike and his severed head. You know what I mean? Ugh.
I also think that moment is a little bit of a Alien reference as well, because it's the end of the original Alien is like she keeps trying to blast this alien out of like the ship that she's in, the shuttle that she's in. And it just kind of keeps making its way back in somehow. Like it grabs onto the engines and climbs back through. And so I think it's a little play on that.
Kind of like trying to like shoo a fly out the window, how it like either keeps coming back in or like just gets like, just go, just get out.
Yeah.
Well, I think the final piece of conversation about the film before we move into like the end of our discussion is who wins in a fight, a xenomorph or Uber Jason?
Oh man.
And why and how many can Uber Jason take out before he gets tired? Because it's definitely Uber against one, it's definitely Uber Jason.
Yeah.
Really? I feel like I'd be on the xenomorph side.
He can punch through the hull of a spaceship with almost no issue at all. It's for sure Uber Jason against at least one of them.
Well, because I think about like a xenomorph going up against a predator, which we've seen examples of.
And they can kill scores of them. If they're high enough trained or combative enough, they can kill scores of xenomorphs.
And like predators use bladed weapons like Jason does.
Yeah.
And we've seen like, an alien using its tail as like a weapon and like stabbing through predators' chests and killing them that way. But it's like, you can cut through Jason, you can stab through Jason all you want. Like it doesn't kill him. It doesn't stop him.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to guess 4. He can kill 4 until he needs to catch his breath.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well, and that's, I mean,
Well,
he's
also,
going to
if
be,
he kills one, I don't know how durable that metal is against like the acid blood.
He gets sprayed with it one time and then he realizes that that's what's happening. So then it doesn't bother him anymore because Jason's number one power is plot armor. And we all know that.
I
Derek,
guess.
do you recommend Jason X to our viewer?
absolutely.
Okay.
I love this movie. It is for the reasons that you said. Like it is that thing of on in a lot of ways it's dumb.
Yeah.
But it's that dumbness that I click into and I'm like it is we are so far removed and so far along in this franchise.
Yeah.
And I have seen far worse versions of what Jason can and is in these movies. That like, yeah, where do you take it? If their whole idea with Jason Takes Manhattan was, oh well, people are just tired of seeing him running around in the woods and in campgrounds and things like that. Let's put him somewhere else. And so they put him on a boat. I mean, this is a similar idea. It's a space boat.
That's true.
God damn, that's deep.
And they make it to New York City too. But like, this is so far out there and ridiculous that I just have to enjoy it for what it is. And I think they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. And it's surprising because by this point in the film franchise, for there to be a sort of creative integrity involved, where they knew the line, they knew what to and what not to make fun of. There was a sort of respectable creative vision behind that is wildly surprising. Because this is the same studio that that have crapped out Jason Goes to Hell. So it's like, oh, they cared about this? That's surprising.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you recommend Jason X to our listener? I said viewer last time, which they're just looking at our picture right now.
I do, for similar reasons as Derek. Is I will say that a 10th Jason movie shouldn't have been made. But because there is, I'm in the same boat of like, well, what else could they have done? Like, as far as a 10th installment in a franchise that should have ended long ago, like it's fine, it's fun. They took it seriously enough. I think it's a fun movie, and yeah, I recommend it. I mean, it may not like it. It's a fun watch through at least once, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like the weird space aesthetics. I like the weird sci-fi shit.
I said the first time you and I watched this movie, I said that this is one of the highest budget Roger Corman sci-fi movies ever made. They just happen to have Jason in it.
Yeah.
It's like that was the brand deal. I recommend this movie, but I recommend this movie not because of the meta, like kind of like the high mind stuff that this movie does, where it makes fun of things but in like a more subtle way. I don't recommend it based on that, because I have seen examples of meta commentary in these films from much earlier that do it way better. I think that that's all fine. I recommend this movie in the idea that when you start to get to the worst parts of this franchise and you hate it and it's awful, I recommend this movie in the way that this is an oasis of late 90s, early 2000s terrible bullshit. You have your standouts. You've got, you have Scream, you have Saw, you have these amazing franchises that are just beginning and they're doing really amazing, really interesting stuff. And then you have Jason Goes to Hell, and you have, that's where you end that series. And then you've got Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where while not bad, it is weird. And you don't get another one for a very long time. And you have all of this bullshit fucking, well, the studio has run out of money and we've run out of ideas. Well, fucking we are whatever studio that died and got bought by Fox that would then get bought by Disney, and all these weird outlier studios. They would just make horror movie after horror movie, and none of them were good. It's like, at least this one, the people who made it cared, and you can just in that sea of bullshit, click your brain off and watch something that will make you happy from the beginning to the end of it. And I think that's where this movie stands out as an oasis in a sea of shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it's not the greatest movie, but it is, I think, made by people who are fans of the franchise. Like they respect Jason and everything that comes with him. Like I like it.
The idea that the idea that the sex that these fucking teenage college students are gonna have resurrects him again in outer space shows that they're like, oh no, we know who this character is.
Yeah,
Right.
well, and I love that detail of like, it doesn't matter that we have placed this 400 years in the future in a spaceship. It's like the same things are going to play out. People don't change.
Yeah, people want to fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never gonna change.
I think the only thing that's worth mentioning about changing of any kind is that even in the beginning, when we watched this the first time, that was all the way I responded. This is all a lie. This is my favorite movie I've ever seen. I had seen it before we watched it the first time.
Oh my God.
Guys, look at this Jason X tattoo.
Oh my God.
I didn't want him naked, but the guy just refused to draw. He was like, well, which Jason's clothes? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen any other movies. He's like, well, I'm not doing Uber Jason. That's stupid. And he just made him naked.
It's probably a bad time to mention. We were just doing a bit.
Yeah, we don't care for this movie at all.
We hate this movie.
I'm going to headbutt the table. I'm going to dump my head in liquid nitrogen and then headbutt the table.
That's awesome.
I do want to ask real quick, what is next for Jason?
What are next?
Like, where does he go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking back to Manhattan on Earth too.
Well, see, so here's what I was going to say. He gets to Earth 2, and unfortunately, Earth 2 is having World War II.
Oh, snap.
So,
Okay.
Jason joins the army.
Oh, we can get a little drama into a Jason movie.
But you also do like a sort of Bing Crosby sort of like it's kind of like musical in that way. I think that's what it is.
Jason musical.
Jason does White Christmas.
That's funny that you say that because I made a dumb throwaway comment in the middle of our watching where I was like, what if in this moment, because there's just this like the score that we love is kind of playing underneath and it's just going for a while. And it's like, what if right now they just broke out into song and the rest of the movie, like the last half hour is a musical for some reason?
That'd be amazing.
Oh man. Okay. That's a good question. Cause then I have to think, do you mean what comes after Jason X if we are keeping all of the continuity? Or do you mean like it's been 16 years? What is the next Jason? What do we do?
I'll put it up to where should like the franchise go? Like not just the story, but
if the franchise has to go somewhere, he, instead of landing on Earth 2, it has to go somewhere from here. You can't go back. You can't retcon anything.
Yeah.
He does not land on Earth 2. His mask is torn off, but he continues to slingshot around. And he is flung through a wormhole that sends him back in time, but not to 2000, where that film takes place, but to 2025, and he smashes into a white house. I'm not saying which one. I'm just saying it's a big white house.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And it's Jason becomes president.
Jason in the White House. Yeah.
He kills a bunch of people on live TV, but then he holds up a list and he just hands it off.
Oh man.
And they're like, let's vote him in.
He had it the whole time?
No, he just got it.
Oh, because he found it in there.
No, the guy whose house that was had that list the whole time. He could have given it out at any time. He just chose not to.
He should though.
Release the
Yeah,
list.
Jason just cuts through all the bullshit.
Yeah. He hacks through that budget with the machete, you know? He hacks through, he makes the rich people pay taxes, and if he doesn't, he chops them up.
Oh, that's the world I want to live in. I guess at this moment, and I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks as we kind of got to the end of this. You know, we've done several franchises at this point.
Yeah.
This is one of the longer ones that we've covered.
Yeah.
And at this point, at least. And we did an interesting thing, I think. And we'll maybe talk about this a little bit more next week because we've got one more technically. But this is kind of our last time talking about Jason and the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah. Which is, it's sad. It's bittersweet because Ghostface will get Scream 7. Chucky, they're always doing something with the Chucky franchise. We always see him pop up, and like, you know, they've added him to video games. They have more things planned after the TV show because I know that just kind of got canceled. But fucking Dom Mancini is always working on something with him. Halloween, there's a video game coming out,
and they won't let that series die.
But this one is
Evil Dead. We've got, I think, 2 different sequels planned at this point. One's already shooting.
Yeah, but this one is dead. They just started to revive it, but they started to revive it with a short film that just came out, and like we don't know what they're doing. There's the Crystal Lake TV show, but like I don't know how much Jason there really will be, especially not in the way that it feels now.
Right.
Like now being during this film franchise's, you know, heyday.
Yeah. I am interested to see those things and what this new, I don't know, Jason universe of it all is.
Yeah.
But also because of the rights and who owns what and who's allowed to use what, I don't know if the Crystal Lake series is part of Jason universe or if it's its own separate thing because it's focusing more on Pamela and the people, the events leading up to the original.
Well, if it's got Pamela, I think it would need to be along with Jason because Pamela Voorhees is in Freddyverses, which means it was New Line.
Right.
I mean, there's no telling.
Yeah.
Is the Spider-Man? Why isn't Spider-Man in the MCU? Oh, well, because of Sony and blah, blah, blah. I fucking hate conversations like that.
Yeah.
And I am saddened that, you know, gone are the days where we can see a Friday the 13th in theaters. Cause I mean, we just ended a fucking trilogy of Halloween movies in theaters. We got an Alien movie like
a year ago
Yeah.
and we'll get another one soon. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just, maybe it ran its course and like, that's fine. And like, yeah, we do have like the remake in 2009. But I don't know. It's just, it's weird to go and I know that most of these things happened before we were even alive,
Yeah.
but like year after year after year for like 10 movies straight.
Yeah.
And then we just haven't really had anything.
I think the saddest thing about it too is that the people whose lives this impacted, because it's like them kind of killing the franchise off after X and then doing a Freddy versus Jason movie without including him and then not revisiting the series for a decade plus. It's like that. I mean, Kane Hodder has talked about how, horrible that's been. Getting recognized as this character, being able to do it in movie after movie, making it part of your life, and then it just, no, you don't do this anymore. But then also fucking Derek Mears, who he was Jason in the remake, and there's sequel bait in that remake, and then they pull it away from him, and it's just like, yeah, the way this was all handled is. And now this is the movie that was made by a studio to appease a studio to replace and supplant and copy off of a very creative thing that was made by a vision. So it makes sense that this is the one that kind of gets corporate think tanked into purgatory forever, but like still disappointing. I like the character. I like the things they've done with him.
Absolutely.
I really wish that they, the Crystal Lake TV show is about Crazy Ralph. That's not my joke. I don't remember who made that joke, but it's just him running around like his prequel, and he's running around and he's telling everybody about the death curse.
I mean, he is featured in the show from what I've seen.
Does he say anything about the death curse? I just wanted to do that one more time. Oh, and Dylan, when we go to Horror Nights, they do have a Jason Universe house.
Oh, yeah.
At Horror Nights, which has been a lot of fun for us. We won't get too much into it. Fans of the show, we'll get into our Horror Nights talk probably next week. But one thing about the Jason Universe house, and I'm so sorry to tell you this, no references to Jason X.
That is fucking bullshit.
Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps.
You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at ThatDRosenberg.
You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message, we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette
and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty.
The logo designed by Belle DeVelco.
Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington.
Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial.
Egg salad and eggs.